Here comes Wilson. He's out of bounds. He'll have a couple of...
Never write off the Bulldogs. Premiers 5 times in the past 6 years, Central District dismissed North Adelaide easily in the qualifying final.
Ware, what's he like? He'll kick this. Nigel Ware lines it up and does it.
Daniel Shell led the way with 5 goals in the Dogs' demolition of a side that dared to challenge the champs.
They're confident in their own ability to be able to play at this level in under pressure games.
Simmons bit it out to Shattuck. It curls back. It's coming around. Has it got the legs? It has.
The Eagles are minor premiers. They are well rested and they are favourites. But they have been dozed by the Dogs in the finals before. 4 times in grand finals in the course of the last 6 years. Ron Fuller knows his Eagles must swoop on this opportunity to dismantle the Dogs dynasty.
There'll be no surprises in what they do. There'll be very little surprises in what we do. We've just got to try and get our game better.
It's the second semi-final, the Eagles versus Central District.
Yes, the Eagles coming off their first minor premiership since the year 2000, and Centrals having never lost a final to the Eagles, Andrew.
Gee, damning statistic in that when you see they're 0-7, it's amazing to have dominated the Eagles the way they have.
But there's been a bit of grand final deja vu about it, of course, with Centrals overcoming the Eagles 4 times. That 2004 result, a major embarrassment, 125 points.
Yeah, it says a lot about Central Districts, but also says a lot about the character of the Eagles. To persist, the number of players who played in all those losses, they've come again, and this year is a bit different. They've finished top. Centrals have done it the hard way, and they've got to look at those minor round games during the year. 4-goal wins, or roughly 4-goal wins to the Eagles. There's a belief in this group. Probably the best opportunity since 2000 for them to go top of the table.
And so does they appear to be fit and firing.
They sure are, and this is the year for them to get into a grand final and win it, I would suspect. If it's going to be any year, it is this year. Now, the last game they played was against third round 23. They won by 11 goals, coming back into the side who missed that week there with Timmy Inkster with a hamstring and also David Westbrook. They're back in. Bernie Vince played in the 2s yesterday, and if I was a betting man, I would suspect, even though he's qualified for the Eagles, you won't see him play senior football this year. So Bernie Vince probably won't see him again. Now the Crows are out, of course. That could be it for the season. He might be going in for a little bit of an operation, is the whisper. Now, you can see they had the week off, the Eagles finishing minor premiers, and Ronnie Fuller enjoyed the break.
No, the first couple of days we freshened up, but then over the weekend we trained pretty hard, so it's a good opportunity to just get over little niggly ones, but we had a real solid weekend last week and then freshen up towards the end of the week.
Ronnie, this is the big question. Central Districts in finals, you're 0-7. How do you knock them off in a big game?
Oh, look, I think it's just 4 quarters. Every contest matters. We've just got to go from minute 1 to the last minute. It's very important that we maintain and persist through that whole game.
So a maturing group, and that's what Ron Fuller would rely on. They've got 12 players who have played between 50 and 100 games, and they're developing. Passador's been a key up forward. Groke's given a good target. Passador the key at full forward. If he can get involved for the Eagles, kick goals, I suspect they're going to go a long way in today's game.
And so does Central. Certainly showed what they're capable of in the finals last week against North Adelaide.
It was a super effort, wasn't it? They just blitzed North Adelaide. They came out firing. The first term they laid 20 tackles and really set the scene. And they're going for their 7th straight grand final, which is an unbelievable effort. They have been a quality side. They continue to be a quality side. And last week, their finals pressure was back.
Yeah, it was. Look, we started the game pretty well. Bit of an indicator for us this year, unfortunately, in some ways. But consistency's been a problem, but last week we were good.
Now, the Eagles still haven't beaten you guys in a final. Today, you want to keep that record going. Justin Westhoff back in.
Yeah, Justin comes in, was in really good form prior to hurting his hand, probably going back 3 or 4 weeks ago, but he'll come back in, gives us a different dimension up forward, adding to Cowan and Shell.
Still a quality side. They've lost 6 from last year's grand final side. Still a lot of quality in there. Like Shell at full forward, he gives them a real target. So does Gowans. Revolves around getting both Gowans twins in the middle. If they're tough, they're rugged there, they can feed it out to their runners. They're still a quality, they're still a very dangerous outfit.
Look forward to a great game. Here's the first bounce with Michael Maney.
The rivalry continues between these two teams. Centrals and the Eagles. Umpire Bowen, Mead and Tim Pfeiffer. Good bounce of the ball. Schooler tries to knock it down. Mussolino. Mark taken by Shattuck. Short kick. Away to Fiacci. This is Peter Fiacci from half-back for the Eagles. Up goes Westbrook. Been a goal kicker for them this year. He got a free kick for pushing them back. David Westbrook. The Eagles, the minor premiers. Amazingly this year, the challengers are the Doggies. Cooper goes in short. Chopped off by Quentin Graham, who was quite outstanding last week in the qualifying final. Graham looks for Lee Westhoff, who's got the long sleeves out there today. A bit chilly in Adelaide, but the left footer has been wonderful off a wing for them this year. Ball carries a long way in that breeze. Target was Cowan. Over the top, Cigalella, but O'Sullivan tried his best to keep it in, but ran it out of bounds. A boundary throw in. Some early matchups, Andrew Rogers.
Yeah, a real interesting one for me is Zach Hire against Cowans. I find that big job for a player.
Against Shell?
Against Shell, sorry. Big job, big job.
Well, the raps on Hire are pretty good. I think the X factor for the Eagles today will be Hayden Skipworth. He is the man that probably can produce something special to get the Eagles over the line. Remains to be seen whether he can get enough footy. If he hovers around that man, Lindsay, long enough, he'll get plenty of off-cut there. Let's go down to Mark Soderstrom for one of the benches. I think it's the Eagles.
Got Joey Pedler, a bit of a surprise him starting on the bench there. Probably just team balance, working out which defenders match up. You just mentioned Zach Hire picking up Daniel Shell there. Also on the bench with Pedler, Sammy Fairclough, and Big Sammy Jacobs. It could be a chance to be drafted in a couple of weeks' time.
Joey Pedler in game number 100. Premiership player in reserves as captain in 2000. Roddy Fuller and his Brains Trust there. Ricky McGowan, the former Central District Premiership player, to the far left. Shane Reardon next in line. That looked like a one-handed hand pass coming out from Schooler, and this is just what we expected. Ball in tight, in tough. Both sides pride themselves on that sort of pressure football.
Yeah, just pressure one-on-one footy, and it served Central District so well over time. The Eagles trying to match him in that. That's probably where the game's going to be won. An arm wrestling there. Just interesting. Chris Gowans, Justin Sickler, another matchup orchestrated by Ron Fuller.
Skipworth out of the pack down to half forward. Wilson falls back, takes the mark. Wilson can spread it this side of the ground if he wants to. He opts instead to keep it down the outer side of the ground. And James Gowans taking the ground and made no effort to handball it out. Just looked at the umpire and said, I want a free kick.
Just off screen, Quentin Graham was run from full-back. He now stands at full forward for Central Districts. Mark Passador's tracked him the entire length of the ground.
He did take off too, didn't he, Graham? Ball out of bounds again. Stoppages will be crucial.
On the bench for Central Districts, on the left-hand side there's Noodles, Elijah Ware, Jason McKenzie in the middle, and also Justin Westhoff back in the game this week after a hand injury. He's had a sensational start to his career, 30 goals from his 14 games at SANFL level.
Toe poke forward. Slade went in on Powell. Got the feeling Slade didn't come out of that all that well to the left of screen. Just let's have another look at the clash. Bang. Well, it's got to just rearrange a couple of vertebrae for a few moments, surely. Here's Powell again. Tried to beat a tackle, slipped a hand pass. Gowans intercepted, now Schooler in tight. Simmons, now finally it breaks open. They have numbers forward of the ball. One of them is Skipworth. Oh, takes a bounce immediately. That was confident. Just dribbled the ball forward for Passador. Passador and a mismatch. Decides to go long and high to the square. The numbers with Centrals. Oh, the hand came in there. And Westbrook kicks a goal. Grokey was the man who had the hand up there. Just forced it loose. And Westbrook capitalised brilliantly.
Yes, Eagles won the contest on the wing. You're able to work it forward. And Skipworth eventually worked it forward. And there's Passel. This goes long and hard to the high spot. Grokey just purely made a contest, and Westbrook read it better than the others. Cleverly off the outside, the foot finishes. Look, it's going to be hot in the kitchen early. The Eagles, for their belief, need to be in front at quarter time. If Centrals can jump it, you get a feeling that the old nemesis will come back to haunt them.
A couple of incidents behind play. Surprise, surprise, Gowans involved.
Inkster tries to find Passador. Passador needs to track the footy. With him is Graham. He got it away, but he got a trip or a push. Oh, there's a clip right in the
Book's coming out.
kisser, and he's gone. Straight in the book. It was an open palm. I don't think it was a closed fist. And Chris Gowans is the man who goes in the book, and Justin Cicolella having a fair old bit of chat.
It was Chris Gowans and Cicolella behind play in the Eagles' back line that started all this, and then he's gone into the centre and whacked his opponent there. And interestingly, Gowans off the ball. I mean, Cicolella, I saw give a little bit of a slap across the face to Gowans.
How does this eventuate now? Passador's got the free kick for a push in the back. This has happened after that's occurred. Is it actually a 50 or does the ball stay where it is?
Well, let's have a look.
It's a
The
50.
umpire's going to pay 50.
Think about next week. Think about next week, guys.
Well, that's got to be post the free kick, surely. Something has happened post the free kick, and then he's decided.
It was a free kick to Passador for in the back, and then it was that incident there we just saw on television. So obviously the 50s for that.
Focus on the ball this week, mate.
And now Passador will shoot.
No, listen, you've got at least next week to go.
The umpire having plenty to say. Think about next week. Think about next week. Let's think about now as Passador kicks into the man on the mark. Goodness me. Where's the Tipex? They had it marked down. And a free kick, is it?
He eventually snapped out on the foot.
Good work, Neil. I was scrubbing out Passador's name. I thought he'd kick a goal. What a terrible miss by the Ken Farmer medalist. Simmons gets it to the slippery Inkster. Waddle again on that left boot. Got a call out right from Skipworth. 7 minutes gone in the second semi-final. Inkster's got it again. Wants to draw a man. That's okay to Shattuck. Shattuck spears, looking for Passador. And he'll probably go back from 47 and drill this. That's just the way it happens in footy.
Breeze doesn't suit him here at all. He generally kicks the ball from right to left. Now the Breeze is also going that way. So he's going to start this outside the right-hand goalpost and let his draw and the Breeze bring it back.
Mark Passador has booted 74 goals this year. Gets a good piece of it. Andrew Rogers has done his homework on that man, Mark Passador. 7 points. Let's have a look at that incident earlier. Just a slap. Surely you don't go in the book for that.
It's a poor miss there. He got a chance to put some real scoreboard pressure on Central Districts. You miss a gimme goal. Could have really, as I said, could have really set the standard for the game.
Centrals through Graham taking their time. He's gone over. He's gone over the line as he's kicked in. Bounce at the end of the goal square. Let's have another look, see how close he got, judging from behind.
There it is, throwing it up.
Hard to tell.
Ball down. Richie Cochran clears the area. After Thomas, wanted to play on quickly. Set a wing. Shattuck opposed to Westhoff and coming through Sibonala. Back to Westhoff on the left foot. Lee Westhoff inside 50 with a scrubby old kick in the end. Hire picks it up at the back. Off to Fiacci. Goes wide. Goes for Colville. Fumbled it. Here the Dogs applause for that. Or jeers, if you like, from the Doggies fans.
Interesting role for Gavin Colville today. Has been a run with player. Today, running with Slade, so an important matchup.
Chris Gowans to ground. McCabe in tight. He's caught. He's rolled around and thumped to the ground. And the big bear, Paul Lindsay, will get up off him eventually. Young Doggies fans, a generation that's come through not knowing what it is. What happens when you get to a grand final and we're not there?
Good tackle.
A lot of expression on that young man's face.
No, it's a fair tackle. No chance.
Concentrating on the matchups as Andrew Rogers is. There's Vinnie Rugolo. Good to see him back and firing. All knocked down, congestion. This is the way Centrals like it. Like to close it right down and play it in tight. O'Sullivan can't get clear. Massive players around. Lindsay and Gowans with a push and shove. That's Chris Gowans. Coming up is O'Sullivan. Eagles fans pretty nervous, you'd think. A win here and they go straight through to another grand final. Gowans just slung off in the kick. taken by Sikalella, who plays this role so superbly. The sweeper off half-back. The kick is precise to Mackenzie. Mackenzie building. The Eagles also. The kick looking for Westbrook. He can't get a handle on it. Graham crashes through. Knows how to play finals. Multi-premiership player. Goes with a low-click kick. Looking for Westhoff. He's ridden into the ground by Rugolo. Lee Westhoff with his brother Justin sitting on the bench. He'll get a free kick, the young man who's kicked 20 goals from a wing this year, floating across half forward on the grandstand side. Members side, long kick. Oh, good mark, Shell. In fact, Cowan, I should say. And Cowan will present all day. Hasn't kicked many goals this year, Luke Cowan. 15-12. He's had a cruel run with injury. And that is the big worry. That he can just stay sound.
He's a confidence player too. If he gets away from you early, he plays really tall and plays real. Very important to the Bulldog structure.
Lovely shot of this. Needs to go left to right. He's got a fair piece of it. Can't squeeze it in for a goal. But the Doggies are on the board.
As you can really see, it's going to be a war of attrition. Both sides intent on pushing numbers around the footy. Breakaways, fast-moving football isn't going to happen in this game. So it's just, as I said, a war of attrition, and it's going to who can play and sustain it for 4 quarters.
Zach Hiron, just his 3rd game of league football, is given the task of kicking the ball in. He goes long. Now it's O'Sullivan. Off to Thomas. Chris Gowans. Off to O'Sullivan. From the pocket. He kicks a goal. Scores level. Dogs lifted.
He's a noted goal kicker. Has been one of their premier on-ballers who's skipped forward this year and kicked goals. They just worked the ball through hands. They worked the one. They won the contest. There's just quick hands in tight. Just a wonderful shot from the pocket there. Just under pressure. Breeze against him. Just works it beautifully and kicks an all-important goal for the Dogs. It's going to be a tight, hard contest all day.
Goal number 32 for the year from a midfielder is outstanding. Scores level. Skipworth out of the centre. The target is Westbrook. Fed it off back to Skipworth with a big long spiral to the square. Knocked away by Graham. Lomas over the footy, no free kick. Mussolino, they keep finding courageous players. Turnover comes. Skipworth squeezes the kick out, looking for Grokey. He can't take it. It trickles through for behind the Eagles by 1.
Hayden Skipworth stamping authority in this game. Getting loose against Central District. Someone needs to clamp down on him.
6 kicks to Skippy already.
Graham taking his time. This time, I wonder if he'll go over the line. He might leave a little bit more leeway. There he goes. Long outside 50. It was interesting to watch. As soon as Rugolo saw the kick, he went to the back of the pack. Grokey took the mark. He looks up. The former North Adelaide player. He can go inside this side of the ground to Shattuck. He can't now. Eventually he decides to go for the pass. Fairly wide out of bounds where the 50-metre mark intersects with the boundary line.
There's another great matchup. Tim Inkster, you see Ron Fuller on the phone, but Tim Inkster, he's up against McGarry medalist and Paul Thomas.
Thomas has had a bit of it early. Lindsay has dominated the rucks at the moment. Here's Mussolino. He'll have to go to this side of the ground. He sets up the kick. Treby will come late, but Swatala read it best. Died in the wind. Swatala. Westbrook across the front of Gowans. Now Sikalella. Clever. Got it back to Fiacci. Inside 50, he pumps it Mussolino. Couldn't take the mark. At the back, Graham. Released it to Swatala. In turn, he's got Wilson wide out. And ahead of him in space is Thomas. He goes with a long hand pass and Thomas is away.
Thomas with plenty of pace. The acting skipper. McGarry medalist. Probing long kick looking for Cowan. Too far for Cowan and also Mackenzie. Cowan with brute strength tries to get through. The umpire says throw it back in. That'll be a critical matchup if it happens all day. Cowan and Mackenzie.
Yes, I'm sure though Central Districts will try to expose Mackenzie height-wise, but Mackenzie will try to expose Cowan running-wise, and he'll try to run it out of defence.
Here's Cowan again, away to James Gowans. Gowans keeps it low, looking for Shell. Higher, has to go. Will he knock it through from behind? The young man takes the option of running it through. And then the kick from full-back to Simmons is a good one.
Simmons in turn to wing. Here's Rugolo. Straight inside to Lomas. Down to half forward. Punched away by the Central's defenders. Swatala swoops. Gets a hand pass to Sibonala. Under pressure, coming the other way. James Gowans released the ball. Picked up by Powell. Now they get it to Skipworth. Now Lomas. And now Westbrook to look away. Dangerous. Cooper was belted. Ball on the ground. Dogs have the numbers. Briefly though, Westbrook in there. Great tackle. Thomas tries to get away. Great tackle. Mussolino in space now. Here it comes to Graham. Graham pumps it down the line. At the back, Westhoff almost read it. Now it comes for Mackenzie. And Fiachi, who again, he's had plenty of it in these early stages. Thomas comes from behind and takes it out of bounds. Ian Mogridge, be interested on those stats on Peter Fiachi. He's certainly sweeping nicely across half-back.
Certainly is, Neil. 4 kicks and 1 handball.
Scores level halfway through the opening term of the second semi-final. Westhoff gathered, then dropped the ball, and then a high tackle. Rugolo on James Gowans, who whirls around on the right foot, decides to go for Wilson. He's a left footer. Goals open up for Wilson. Just pops it up high. Mackenzie can't take it. Ball to ground. O'Sullivan grabbed. McCabe, Cowan, brilliant tackle by Colville. Ball still in dispute. Here's Slade, tried to keep it in. Out of bounds. Forward pocket. Gee, she's a hot ball out there, which is exactly what we expected.
Yeah, it's exactly what we expected, but also just time-wise, you just have no time. You can see that there's a little bit of time. Cowan's no time. It's really hot in the kitchen at the moment.
Not much room in that kitchen either. And Gavin Colville doesn't mind it like that. Colville, a bit of pace early in his career, but really a veteran now. Gavin Colville touched off the boot. Rugolo got the clearing kick. Mackenzie called the play on. Heard the call early, so that's all right. Umpires doing a good job. McCabe ducked the head. I thought he ducked the head. Matthew Cooper agrees. McCabe's kicked the Schooler. Just wanted to work off Grokey. But Schooler with a standing start, hoping for a mark. Shell at the back. Couldn't take it. Oh, brilliant work by O'Sullivan. Got Scragg. Treby over the football. Hard ball to be won. Off the ground. Lee Westhoff. It gets there. Opportunistic goal to young Lee Westhoff. And the Bulldogs, the fans are happy. They lead by a goal.
It's a very basic game plan for the doggies. They pump it in long by Shell and Cowans. They go up and they contest heavily in the air, and then they just get Crummers front and centre. There's Westhoff, ever the opportunist. Gets a toe poke on it. Rolls through for a goal. As I said, Eagles started brightly. Central Districts have assumed control since then.
Jason Mackenzie into the ruck for Central Districts. Last time these sides played, he's actually playing centre-half back on Grokey.
Mackenzie took it out of the ruck, was pinched for holding the ball when he didn't dispose of it correctly. Cooper, no. Jacobs will take the free kick straight to Cooper. Cooper belts it long into half forward. Nicely done by Inkster running against the tide. Inkster spears a pass. Passador leading out with the mark. Rugolo off the ground. And having his first run of the afternoon is Fairclough for the Eagles. Passador prominent early. He had 3 shots for goal for 1 kick into the man on the mark. Actually 4 shots at goal. 1 kick into the man on the mark, a snap for out on the full, and 2 set shots for 2 minor scores.
Yeah, difficult kick from that pocket. The ball kicking into the teeth to the breeze, but also the ball severely right to left. Just now you reflect back on that goal he missed from the goal square. That severely hurts now.
The second only Farmer medalist, Ken Farmer medalist for the Eagles, Mark Passador.
It's a stoppage in play now. Mark Mackenzie coming off with the blood roll.
Well spotted, Andrew. It's like from the schnoz, I think Mark Soderstrom?
Yeah, no problems there with Mark McKenzie by the look of that. He'll get that patched up, which means 100th gamer, Joey Pedler, the man who was once in the 49th Royal Queensland Regiment in the Army, is the centre-half back.
Sound the trumpet. Graham with a long kick. And Buckets has got it. McKenzie to Slade. And the kick unslade-like, looking for James Gowans. Out on the full.
Please give it back now. Thanks, Sam.
Roy Laird, unflustered. Aaron Shattuck told to play on. Does so. Kicks to a pack situation. Up goes big slamming Sammy. Jacobs to the other redhead in Colville, who sets it up high. Skipworth in the middle of that, but Curry with courage. He is quite a remarkable player, Brad Curry. He plays very tight. And a wonderful team man. Finds Slade at half-back. The Centrals have got plenty of those who want to play in the red, white and blue. Slade looks for McKenzie. Pumped away. Chris Gowans got it away to Westhoff, who kicked their last goal. Long kick, Shell, higher, just gives him a nudge. Running full length to the ground. Off the ground, O'Sullivan. It may be another soccer goal! Pele, eat your heart out. O'Sullivan's got his second. And they don't care which way they come. And like you said, Andrew, it's a pretty simple game plan.
Yeah, they just bombing it along. There was space in their forward line then. And once again, you're bombing it along to your key forwards, and then all of a sudden you program yourself to run front and centre. And because it's so basic and it's so regimented, everyone knows exactly what's going to happen. It's very hard to combat. 2 goals off the ground in the first quarter for the Doggies, and they assume ascendancy in this game.
Jacobs goes against McKenzie, who belts it forward. And again, simple game plan. Belt it forward. Here's Sikalele. You reckon they don't enjoy getting around him if you're a Central District player? And you may not recognise him, but yes, that is Mark McKenzie, and he's obviously had a change of jumper as well.
Like Hannibal Lecter.
All down. Dogs just try and burrow forward. Slade taken to ground. Surely that was holding the ball. Now it comes out. Cooper. And now Westbrook leads up. Got one late, the umpire said. Free kick against Curry. Stop-start play. Expect that. This is the way they play, both these sides. When they come up against each other, it's really a war of attrition. Now Westbrook called to play on. No choice but to go high. He goes for Passador. Wilson! Back that all the way. Wilson takes off, immediately looks to square the ball to the other side of the ground. Just a little bit too much carry for Chris Gowans. He looks back inside, running for him, Graham. Graham about to be shut down, not before he got the long kick down to half forward. Inkster from the side. Still, it's forced out Fairclough. Richie Cochran taken to ground. Ball in dispute. It might have been Stuart Cochran. It was one of the Cochrans anyway, and the ball is over the line.
Really is everything we expected so far. We knew it was going to be in tough, completely different to what we saw in the first game. And as I said, both teams pride themselves on one-on-one footy. The moment, winning the arm wrestle are the Dogs.
And again, they just soccer the ball away from the pack. Cowan was brilliant, gathered it, ran back, found a runner. They get it inside 50, Westhoff. And his long left foot is capable from here. Or will he go for one of the leads? Scott players leading, and one of them Shell. Shell with the advantage. Umpire called play on. Colville got it forward. The Eagles will get away with it this time through Fairclough.
Fairclough got it to Luke Powell. Powell down the line to Westbrook. Curry over the back. Wilson's got to mop it up. Just the handball to himself. Did he keep it in? No. Boundary throw in. Wilson started this game off pretty well in Moggridge. He's had 3 and 2 kicks and handballs. Always safe and assured, Adrian Wilson. McKenzie knocked it down, chopped off by Simmons, who got it to Fiacci. Fiacci high, Rugolo and Curry. Curry again. The master, taken by Swatala. Here's a run. Thomas can run the full length of the ground. Sikalala gets into third gear. Thomas punts long, looking for Shell. Shell and higher. Shell! Oh, that's a lovely mark. He did everything, Zach Hire, for a young and experienced backman. He did the lot, but Shell was too good.
Yeah, he was one-on-one. You just don't like this matchup. You can see there, Zach has done everything right, except he's just given away that last little... He was on the wind side, had everything right. Shell was just able to take that diving mark in front of him.
He booted their first 2 goals last week. Shell draws it back. The former Kenton Farmer medalist, who's kicked a lot of behinds as the Bulldog Army look on and cheer on. The Doggies move out to a 17-point advantage.
Yeah, Curry won an important contest at half-back and played on quickly. Switch of play to the other side of the ground where there's pace, and Thomas just works it forward. And there's a slips catch by Shell. And importantly, as all good full forwards went back and kicked a goal, some alarm bells ringing for Ron Fuller.
Central District never lost a final to the Eagles. 7 wins, no losses. Maybe that pressure mentally will tell. Just quietly, Roy Laird 7-0 is his finals record as coach as well. Wilson will take this. Back across half-back. Remember a game earlier this year, Woodville Oval, when the Eagles did beat Central District, and they just dragged Wilson repeatedly back to the goal square, Andrew.
Yeah, too much time for that because he does play tall. So when you've got a stoppage in play and you're kicking it down the line to Grokey, Wilson's always going to be the third man up. So it's time to either push him back, and he's just loose across half-back at present, either push him back, someone drag him back to the full-back line.
And that is interesting. They do have that loose man across there. At the moment, Skipworth falling back behind play into that half-forward role. But again, the Centrals boys are trying to work it out. And it is Skipworth opposed to Wilson, who stays at half-back. And that'll be holding. And Lee Westhoff will take another free kick. Simmons, the infringer there. Westhoff just thumps it long for that one-on-one matchup. Here comes McKenzie across the front, knocks it towards the line. Hare got rid of Chris Gowans brilliantly, but his hand pass was smothered by Elijah Ware coming across there. Eagles fans.
Neil Elijah Ware just coming on there, replacing 150th game from earlier in the year, Big Matty Slade.
Eyes on it!
Big Matty Slade.
Yeah, Big Matty Slade. He's a little man, but he's a big player.
Big heart. Jacobs, Fairclough, working hard, taken to ground. Rolling scrum, ball up, ticking into 28 minutes of the first term. 11 inside 50s to the Dogs, 9 the Eagles, and it's out to 17. James Gowans couldn't get it. Fairclough dispossessed. Jacobs did pretty well. Who want the boundary line. Well skilled by Swatala. Kept it in, hooked it back. Gave his side every opportunity, but young Zach Hire took the mark. He'll need a chop out. Hire. He goes to Treby. That could be dangerous. Thump forward by Thomas. Ware couldn't get it. Fairclough just with a bounce. Next kick is so important. He looks for Skipworth and Wilson. Wilson! Oh, he started off in a purple patch. Adrian Wilson over the top to the former Hawk. In McCabe to Swatala. The former Essendon reserves player finds Gowans. In fact, it's O'Sullivan. Oh, he's red hot. We've seen Chad O'Sullivan in the minor round kick 4 in 1 quarter. Well, he's got 2 so far. His tally for the year 33. A midfielder that kicks 30+ goals in the season is one that's had an outstanding year. O'Sullivan sits it up. Oh, he knew it was there. As soon as it left the boot, he started celebrating. The Dogs are out to a 23-point lead at the Adelaide Oval in the second semi-final. They can do no wrong in this first term.
Wilson's just providing tremendous marking ability across half-back. Plays on quickly at all times. And Swatala just waited the kick. Sam Fairclough, who's opposed to O'Sullivan. Not too much he can do about that. And just some clever footy craft there. Started it just inside the left-hand goal post. Breeze boarded back beautifully. 3 goals for the quarter.
3 kicks for the quarter.
Needs to be shut down.
Well, they need to arrest this slide, that's for sure. The Eagles, as Jacobs comes, McKenzie gets the better of the ball. James Gowan's taken in. Looks again at the umpire, says, oh, could have been a free kick. Every time he touches the ball, he's got something to say, James. Stuart Cochrane just thumped it forward. Simmons got a scrubber of a kick out. Here's James Gowans again. Good vision. McKenzie comes and knocks it away from Cowan. Simmons slips in. Now they're over the ball. Still waiting for it to come out. Elijah Ware will be taken over the line. No, the ball wasn't. So now it's freed up. Brody Lomas, he's a left footer, so he's able to square the ball up. Coming in over the top, nicely done by Mussolino. Somehow it found its way to Cooper inside 50. Rugolo cleans up and is cleaned up. Got the hand pass away. Thomas, electrifying pace, comes clear, just belts it long. Now here comes O'Sullivan. When he gets it, it'll be 3-on-1. The Eagles are right behind him. Great tackle from Fairclough. Took him over the line.
Yes, O'Sullivan won an important footy there. As you said, it was 3-on-1, played the percentages, gets it over the line, gets it back to a 50-50 contest.
Centrals with the men behind the ball in this ruck contest. It goes to McCabe forward. He pumps it long. He pumps it for... what? Hit the post in the end. Just.
I think he hit that rather large padded goalpost down there. Such is the way Centrals are going, and the way they've just got this belief that they can do anything at any stage.
Free kick will go to Treby against Fatala. Colville just headed off, but he's got to hand it back to Treby. Powell just floating past, ticking into 31.5 minutes. Time for the Eagles to kick another goal. The kick favours Inkster. Inkster with pace. Fed the handball out to Fiacci. Peter Fiacci across the body. Has missed. Oh, you just thought he might have been able to straighten up some of these kicks around corners, Andrew. I know you hate them.
Yeah, not my pet love. But Peter Fiacci's been good, just as I said, just like to use his pace there and straighten up.
Busiest player on the ground, 7-2.
Centrals with the answers through the first quarter. 32 minutes plus 23 points the margin. Graham takes his time. Belts long. Sikalala sits under it. Should have taken it perhaps. Hand pass out to Inkster. He fumbled twice, 3 times. Then he got possession. Then he gave it to Sigalella. Sigalella says, thanks a lot. Ball smothered. Sibanela much more direct by Centrals. Ware off the left foot. Punch forward by Powell. Simmons released it. Got one in the back along the way. Powell tries to break away. Umpire calls him back. Now it's Simmons. Drops it into the middle. Skipworth will go for Colville. Siren will beat everybody. Central showing their powerhouse ability, and at quarter time it is Central District 5-3-33. The Eagles 1-4-10.
Any doubts we had about the Doggies and whether or not they're up to finals footy in the same class as previous years? Well, they've just all been answered. The question really remains is whether or not the Eagles can come back and whether or not Centrals can maintain this for 4 quarters. And I suppose at the end of the day, we'll soon see if this monkey or gorilla is off the back of the Eagles.
23 points the margin at quarter time. Will the monkey grow into a gorilla? I think it's already pretty large, monkey or gorilla. We'll find out. Here's the second quarter with Michael Maney.
Quarter of football coming up in the second semi-final. The Dogs lead it by 23. Important ruck duel. Schooler. Shattuck put his head over the football. Swatala got it back to McCabe. Needs to be precise. Shaw was the target. Couldn't take it with him. Hare, higher, has given away a free kick. A high tackle on James Gowans. And the youngster, whose object was the ball, up against the experienced campaigner that James Gowans is. And wouldn't they love an early goal, the Doggies?
His first goal was always going to be crucial in this second quarter. And High just committed, you know, Gowans had his head down, just a little bit too aggressive on him. Needs to start this probably even outside the right-hand goalpost.
He's kicked plenty of goals in his career, 17. And Cowan That ball floated away, but Cowan playing in front. The ball just dipping, and Luke Cowan was there to the amazement of Gavin Colville.
Yes, you've got to wonder where your tall defenders are. Either a tall defender or even a Paul Lindsay who's a ruckman needs to push down, at least make sure that there is a contest there.
Luke Cowan, 15 metres out. It's a tricky shot, though, and he steered it through. It's out to 29 points. Let's go down to Mark Soderstrom.
Well, in that first term, Luke Powell and also Sammy Fairclough spent time on Chad O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan sensational with his 3 goals. The job now has been given to Peter Fiarchi, so he's going to run with O'Sullivan. That's what's happening over at the Eagles. While at Central Districts, Roy Laird was a huge rep for Adrian Wilson and his work rate. Thought he was fantastic. Also highlighted the body pressure. It was good last week against North Adelaide, good again today. 14 tackles in the first term.
Well, the question being asked of the minor premiers, the Eagles.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ted. Got each other, play on.
Schooler palmed it down. Lindsay took it out of the ruck in the end. Oh, somehow he spun out of there, got it to Inkster. Inkster down the other side of the centre square, attacking side for the Eagles. Swetala, that's holding the ball, surely. Stopped in his tracks.
Great tackle. Thanks, Vinny. Thanks,
Rugolo was the tackler.
A tremendous tackle. It's got to learn. Don't jump in the air, but just tremendous in low by Vinrugalo. Well done.
Shattuck, he was taken down by Schooler. Good follow-up from the ruckman. Now Mussolino for Centrals. High and long. Cowan busts the pack, or tries to. He's taken down as well. You have to wonder about a couple of these tackles, Andrew.
Oh, look, the umpires are letting it go a bit, and I haven't got a problem with that. If they're consistent, that's good. I think at all stages, you've got to have the player with the ball to have an opportunity.
Schooler, good little bit of juggling. They have the numbers here, the Eagles. Sikalala, oh, he's gone. Is that holding the ball? Cowan off the ground. Oh, another goal. Oh, an incredible goal, an incredible run of goals for the Dogs. And now Chris Gowans, or James Gowans, take your pick. They go at Sikalala and just remind him of the mistake he made.
Yeah, just didn't make take his first opportunity here. They look just hesitant, and such has been the Bulldogs' pressure that they are hesitant. Shell didn't fall for the dummy, and there's Gowans off the ground. It's almost at that stage now where it's getting away from the Eagles. They need to respond. Almost need to get away from this negative attitude and say, OK, let's take the tags off. Let's just play our best footy.
I'll tell you what, the Gowans boys and Sikalala are like the Hillbilly Bears. They are at each other all the time. The feud continues.
Yes, there is a long history between the two, or between the 3. And I think you can probably throw Paul Lindsay in the mix.
Don't like each other, there's no doubt about that. Schooler gets it down to Inkster. Too quick for Simmons. Jacobs got it to Cooper, the premiership player in 2002 for Sturt. But the brick wall that is Wilson is thwarting everything at the moment. Kick out wide, looking for Slade. Colville comes in with some body contact. Then again, and a free kick, is it? Or is it going to be thrown back in?
It's almost instinctively, every time the Centrals get the ball across half back, it gets switched to the other side of the ground. And because it's so predictable, they're on ballers and their players just run straight to the other side of the ground.
Free kick will go to the Bullies. It'll be taken by Matthew Slade. He's at halfback. 5 minutes gone. 35 points the difference. Luke Cowan's got a couple of goals. They've booted about 4 off the ground. Slade kicks to a big pack. Oh, huge fly by Westbrook. Went too early and infringed. And Brad Curry's the man who's going to get the free kick for the Dogs. McCabe makes some space in the centre of this wonderful ground. McCabe measures to Thomas on the fingertips, couldn't get it. Sikalala there, off the ground by Thomas. Intelligent stuff. O'Sullivan, quick hands to Stuart Cochrane, over the top. Graham has got to get around Inkster, can't do so. James Gowans, Westhoff, kick just run down by Mackenzie. Simmons pushes off. Inkster, all the Doggies are in hard, so too the Eagles. It's a hot football. In goes Simmons, out the back James Gowans, to no one in particular. In comes Treby, he's gang tackled. by both the Gowans, one on either side. Commitment is there, no doubt. And the Doggies fans are relishing this hard, tough contest in the second semi.
Jacobs, nice link down to Cooper, got one high. Umpire will come in and dish out the free kick. You just get the feeling they're a goal away from losing it, the Eagles. Higher, wide out, nothing coming in the range of 50 or so metres in terms of options. So he had to go short. Sikalella trapped in close. Now Simmons taking the ground. Umpire will come in. Tim Pfeiffer is the umpire. And he'll bounce it inside the centre square.
And there's a classic from Zach Hire as he came forward. Just missed the target too easily. Just the pressure the Dogs are exerting. It's too much for the Eagles at present.
Gowan's forcing the ball forward. Inkster to tackle. Get it out, he's told. Out it comes to Sikalella. Ball smothered. And still it's trapped in close. The Dogs will keep it in close and play only at their pace. Lee Westhoff off the ground now with the blood rule, and I think it happened not in this clash, but the last time they bounced the ball up, he came away from the tackling as if he had a problem, and you can clearly see he does have a problem. Thomas over the top. Elijah Ware running forward. Sikalella interfered with him. Elijah Ware will take the free kick. Sloppy stuff from the Eagles. You just get the feeling they are just very close to the edge, the Eagles. Elijah Ware goes long, looking for Cowan at the front. That was brave from Inkster. And he'll repel the Dogs' assault. Tried to carry to Passador, who slipped his way through the pack. Passador now looking for run. Instead, he looked to give the ball away. Cooper was never going to get that. Graham knocked it over the line, gets the congratulations. Neil, as Westhoff, Soda's heading to the rooms.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a fair bit of damage to the lower lip there. Too much just to try and patch up. So they've sent him down to the rooms to stitch that up and try and stop the blood flow that way.
Paul Lindsay's gone off, Andrew, on a ruck rotation after about 7.5 minutes.
I think that might not have been a ruck rotation. It might have been the for not pushing back into defence when we saw Cowan kick that goal. Part of his role as a ruckman to push down there and help out his defence.
Good point. Doggies just love it in tight. It's a very, very big ground, this Adelaide Oval, but they look like they're playing on a high school ground or something like that, don't they? They really closed that space up. Jacobs in the ruck with the blue boots on. Knocks it down. Cooper in hard. So too Inkster. Close to the line. James Gowans goes for the foot. They got trodden on in that exchange. Justin Sikalella, most unlike him, he's really, well, I wouldn't say he's lost the plot, but he's certainly not got it all together at the moment. Schooler tries to crash through. Jacobs has got him. Good umpiring to let it go. So too Slade. Once again we have a ball up. A lot of stoppages. The Dogs love it this way. They know if they close them down, they can move forward.
This is what final footy's about, though, and this is what they've excelled in the last 5 or 6 years, because they play this tough one-on-one footy. We saw it last week against North, who tried to break it open. They just deny your space.
They go forward again. Cowan, Chris Gowans, a heartbeat away from getting it again. Here's Noodles. Here's Ware. Oh, handball chopped off. McKenzie, hurried kick to half-back. Lindsay back on after a grilling from Fuller on the phone. Taken by Colville. Colville to Groki. Groki going back. Sibanala infringes. Yes, free kick will go to Groki against Sibanala. He hasn't had much of it, Groki, but I tell you what, the way that football's been coming into the Eagles' forward line has not been exemplary at all. Adam Groki, long way from goal. Passador is on the move. He decides to go longer. He's hoping for a mark, but the Cochrane boys know how to play this great game. Thomas, full of run. Wilson, how does he get in space? It was 25 metres in the clear. Wilson, a couple of bounces. Exciting stuff by the Dogs. Wilson goes towards Shell. It trickles out of bounds, does it? Oh, that was a throw, surely, by O'Sullivan. Not picked up by the umpire. Taken by Josh Hire. Zach Hire, I should say. Lugalo Got a handball of sorts away. Coming in is Lomas. Lomas, the speedster, kicks toward half forward. Graham in front. Graham roves his own ball. Sibanala gets it to Schooler. Dogs are out of trouble again.
Only briefly. Should come back in. Here's Rugolo off the left foot. Oh, they missed their targets. Here's Slade. Stewie Cochrane. Runners with him. One of them was Chris Gowans. Chris Gowans to half forward. McCabe in space. Game opens up. Dogs take advantage. Shell drops a chest mark. Taken to ground now. They can hurt him. And they try to the Eagles. Now he dives over the ball. Released it by throwing it out. Umpire spotted it. Pulled it back in. Then he just merely threw it out. Higher to take the free kick. As this game's opened up, Andrew, just ever so briefly, when the Eagles get the run, they really need to capitalise, give themselves some confidence, I suppose.
But there's basically only about 8 possessions in the game, so that tells me that the Eagles have just not used their possessions as well as Centrals, and it's because of the Centrals' pressure. But even when they have been clear, they've missed their targets way too easily.
There's a lot going on off the ball and on the ball. The Eagles, great example there of just what you were saying, just not using the ball properly. A lot going on off the ball, and it's unsettling the Eagles, and it's inspiring the Dogs.
Now, Stewie Cochrane has been signalling out to the trainer just to try and get him off. He's got a big pad around the thigh. We're just hoping that it is the tape that's coming off there. He only needs that re-strap, not that he's actually done some damage to his hamstring again. And it actually looks like it's just the tape that needs to be put back on.
It's being done right now as Roy Laird's on the phone. James Gowan, or Chris Gowans it was, came from behind. Inkster took the ball away. Inkster down towards half forward. Thomas back. And Passador just coming in and ball across the line. At this stage, they don't have the answers across half forward.
No, certainly Grokey's not presenting himself as probably as much as he should. But as I said, the ball hasn't been kicked well to him. It hasn't really given him a chance. Just as I said, I'd just like to see the Eagles just release some of the shackles. They really need to just get their playmakers free. Let them go head-to-head. At the moment, just playing a negative role. They've just got a negative mindset. See if they can take them on at their own game.
Another stoppage. They've got it to half forward, the Eagles. They need something to happen. Ball in tight. Skipworth is there. So a few Dogs, a couple more Eagles, and an umpire who comes in and says, I want the ball, boys.
Justin Westhoff just getting ready to come onto the ground. He's over that little break he had in the hand, in his right hand, so he's going to come back on and join his brother on the ground.
Skipworth needs to get a bit more of the football too, Andrew. He's been held by Stewie Cochrane, probably one of the best taggers in the business, and he's just coming off the ground as that tape, if we can just get a shot there of his leg. And there it is, down around near the ankle, so that needs the re-strapping. He seems okay though, Mark.
Yeah, look, he's had a lot of hamstring problems throughout the season, but I think it is just the thermoskin needs to be strapped up a little bit better. He doesn't seem to be limping or anything.
Sikalala, Westhoff's got him. Tremendous pressure. Fairclough is caught by McCabe. And Ping for holding the footy. Oh, he rolled him over like the old crocodile roll. There it is. And got him. It's McCabe.
They're just relentless, aren't they, the Dogs? If you think you're free, they're at you. There's certainly a 4-on-3. They just run so hard forward. The Eagles' defence is just under so much pressure.
Any kick from an angle in a pocket is difficult. Luke McCabe has booted 19 goals, but goes in short. Was that 15 to James Gowans? Lee Treby says, I don't think so. But the end result is James Gowans to shoot from a slightly better angle. And should not have too much trouble with this. Just needs to kick through it.
It needs to just start on the right-hand goal post and let the breeze work its way back.
We have seen the breeze really snap that football to the left on many occasions today. The umpire said play on. He got the handball to Ware. Ware sets sail for home and snags his first. Oh, the Doggies are up by 41 points. Amazing stuff. In the second semi-final, there he is, Elijah Ware. He boots his 24th for the year.
Yeah, James Gowans just knows his limitations, gives it to Elijah Ware. Almost had to be the perfect kick. You can see he started it well outside the right-hand goal post, brought it back beautifully. Everything falling into place beautifully for the Dogs.
What's that?
Had not been a score for 12 minutes. The Dogs break the shackles again, and they get a crucial one. As I said, you get the feeling that may be just about all she wrote. The Eagles' confidence is shot to bits. Sikalella, he tries to get them running, releases Lomas. Don't think James Gowans will catch him. Lomas's kick was awful. McKenzie on Sibanela. Sibanela has the better of it, sends it back to centre field. Treeby, hand pass back. Sikalella takes his time, high to half forward. Westbrook and Curry, and then the number came in from James Gowans. They are just supporting each other brilliantly. The Eagles' last score was at the 32-minute mark of the opening quarter. Fiachi kicked a minor score. They have only the one goal thus far, and that was kicked at the 5-minute mark through Westbrook. 5-minute mark, opening quarter. Here's Richie Cochran. Didn't have his eyes on the ball. So Shell at half forward waits. There is some room over the top. He goes to McCabe, who drops it in short. Ware looks up. Still space in this pocket. Ware waits. Decides to go to the top of the square. And Cowan breaks the tackles. Graham, in fact, now it's Cowan. Cowan taking the ground. Umpire calls play on. Eagles break it open through Shattuck. Shattuck takes his time. In the end, forced back. Couple of bounces, almost pulled down. Dangerous, gone. Unable to make a decision, Aaron Shattuck. And in the end, he gives one to Gowans. That'll be 25 metres. James Gowans got him. He got him good and proper. And Aaron Shattuck has lost it now. And the Eagles will trail by 47 points in the second semi-final.
Come around for me, Chet.
I certainly think a concern for Ron Fuller would be the lack of discipline. Not just in so much ad action there by Aaron Shattuck, but also just the way they've manned up. They haven't manned up well. Their lack of respect for their players, the way they've used the footy. So we see O'Sullivan finish off nicely. Kicks his fourth for the game, been a star. But Aaron Shattuck looked up, he had nothing down the wing. All he could see was a wall of central-district players, so he decided to take them on. And just tremendous desperation there by the Dogs forwards. They've worked hard to keep the ball in the area. There's James Gowan, and there's a little punch of sorts right in front of the umpire, totally undisciplined. Ron Fuller needs to react. Aaron Shattuck needs to come to the bench.
Hasn't been a good couple of days for Aaron Shattuck, of course, delisted by the Power during the week as well.
Well, the Eagles got the first goal of the game through Westbrook. The next 9, Skipworth surely with that fend off against Slade. No free kick. The next 9 coming from the Dogs.
You don't like to dwell on it. Mark Passador has a shot from the top of the square, kicks into the man on the mark. All of a sudden, all the momentum changes in the game. Not that, you just don't know what great effect that had on the game.
Richard Cochran gets his kick away. It's had a marked effect, you'd have to say. Dogs running in numbers. McKenzie, Slade on the boot. Any way forward will do them. Shell just tries to knock it on. Chris Gowans can't keep it in. Boundary throw in 47 points. Who would have thought? And Joey Pedler gets there's a little bit of history there between the Gowans. There's history all over the ground, Andrew Rogers.
They have had many a tussle. Many of these teams have played, 4 of the last 6 grand finals and generally played finals every year. So, look, there's always going to be a history between the two clubs.
All on the outer side. Treeby desperate to try and lift his side. His kick. First kick. Amazing. Lomas gets it to Simmons. Simmons to Skipworth, who's finally found some space on the outer side. He goes in short to Inkster. Inkster on a good lead. Will take the mark. Thought he might have tried to play on there. Mussolino just held on to him. I thought Inkster was off. Andrew.
He's always trying to make something happen to Inkster, so it's not bad play by Mussolino, because you could see he wanted to play on. So just corralled him up. Difficult shot from the pocket.
Worked his heart out. Been changed for that.
Inkster Reverse angle. Oh, he gets around him. He throws it on the boot and then puts himself under pressure. The kick across the face. Mackenzie couldn't take the mark. Well, he's trying to make something happen, like you said, Andrew. Tried to run around, but, gee, had 3 Central District players to contend with when he ran around. Did he have a look?
Yes, you can always, Tim Inkster's always going to dive it. That's probably the mentality that the Eagles need now, just to work their way back into this game by just trying some things that you probably normally wouldn't do. Try to work your way, try some things. Because the moment you've kicked 1 goal in 1 3/4 quarters, you need 8 to get back in front. So you need to try some things to get some goals.
Hacked off the ground by Thomas, taken by Ware. Gowans tries to find the line. Colville, did he keep it in? He was out, ball was in. Stood up in the tackle. Sicolella threaded it through toward Powell. Powell gets it to Cooper. Cooper got a call from Fiacci. Cooper measures the kick, but it's chopped off by Curry. Oh dear, they're frustrated by hand and foot.
And again, they switched the play. Mussolino's kick wasn't the best. Lomas with a chance. Switala came in and pressured him. Treby, he'll want his left side. He goes back towards Mackenzie. High, hopeful, long. Inkster punched. Now Mackenzie again. Goes wide for Switala. Switala was out. Ball to be thrown back in on that 50-metre defensive line for Centrals. And what a wall they've set up. 1-4-10 for the Eagles. 9-3-57 for the Dogs. Eagles this season averaging 114 points a game, up 8 points on last season where they were the number 1 attacking side in the competition. It all means little. This season they're the 3rd most attacking side in the competition in terms of points scored. But as I say, it means little when you come up against the Dogs and you can't score. Another blood rule, and it will be Mark Mackenzie making his way off the ground. Well, he will eventually. He's a long way from the interchange bench.
It's difficult to see what Ron Fuller can do. As I said, his matchups have worked. Slade hasn't had a big effect on the game. Probably some of his better players. We haven't seen Justin Sicola exert his normal influence on the game. Mackenzie probably hasn't played as well. Inkster's been good. You start to fall away, you know. Skipworth has tend to struggle a little bit. So you haven't got the best out of his better players. And in that core group, or that group of players that have played 50 to 100 games, really haven't had any influence on the game.
Well, they're all going with their player. I guess that's the thing, isn't it? They're all going with their player, but ultimately the Dogs are winning the contest. So what do? You zone off your player now?
I just think he needs to go head-to-head, try to free a few blokes up. You know, not so much maybe, you know, get that Skipworth in there more often, or just say to Justin Taylor, don't worry about him. You run and get the footy, and we'll see if your influence on the game is going to be greater than your opponent.
Well, Mackenzie will relieve the pressure for the Dogs, and again, another mark. Well, it should have been a mark on centre wing. Fairclough comes in for the Eagles.
Just dribbles the ball away. Mackenzie taken to the line by the fresh man in Vinnie Rugolo. There he is, big buckets. We had buckets of noodles on the bench earlier. But he has proved his worth. Elijah Ware, a wonderful goal a few moments ago. Mackenzie gets it down to Sicolella. Sicolella working hard, chopped off by Mackenzie. McCabe. Just a high kick. Pedler just knocks it away well from Cowan. Chris Gowans with the rove. Looking for Shell and Higher. Higher got a good bounce. Needs to finish off. His kicking hasn't been all that flash. Cooper to Fiacci. Powell cuts through the centre. Lindsay got it back to Powell. Something on working. Eagles building. Good kick. Passador can't hold on. Rovers needed. Simmons caught. Commitment from the Dogs. His first class, and Quinton Graham really let Simmons know that he's in a final.
So they don't miss a tackle here, the Dogs. That's what they pride themselves on, is their tackling pressure. The Eagles, far too many hands going in and not enough tackling pressure.
Like Velcro, it just sticks. Mussolino, the youngster, out in front of Thomas. Thomas down the line, not his best kick. They've done very little wrong, the Bulldogs, and find themselves 47 points in front. And Adam Grokey from the interchange bench right near our boundary rider Mark Soderstrom. It's
Been a big change in years for Adam Groke. Last year at North Adelaide, just the 2 SANFL games for no goals. Played in the twos final. He's come to the Eagles this year and it's been pretty impressive. Struggling today, but added 32 goals this season.
Lee Westhoff, Soda's had a close look at that lip as he ran past.
Yeah, no problems at all, Michael. Just a couple of stitches there. He'll be ready to go after half-time.
Richard Cochran for the Bulldogs finds Mussolino. Called the play on. Looking for Ware, and be too troubled at the 26-minute mark to see that ball roll out of bounds. 47 points. It will have to be the biggest comeback of the year if the Eagles are going to do it. But they finish top, and if any side can, you would think the Eagles certainly can.
Being worked over at the moment by the Dogs. James Gowans, I should say, did not get foot to ball there. The umpire called that holding the ball. Lee Treby to take the free kick. Treby, under-18 Victorian competition team of the year 2002, made his way to Oval Avenue. He's been a good contributor for the Eagles. Dropping it in short, and the Dogs, I think they've shut up shop for half-time. Westbrook leading out. Sibonala went to ground. Westbrook stood up, just bombed it in, not the greatest of kicks. Lomas slides in. His chasing and his tackling and his persistence have been a rare shining light for the Eagles this afternoon. He's tried.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the Eagles players aren't trying. They're just lacking confidence at the moment. And possibly the loss of Luke Jarrett with a leg injury has severely dented any pace they have around the ground.
Lomas can't get it to the goal, but Inkster can take the mark, and he plays on over his shoulder. Oh, please go in. I'd hate to think he missed it. Wait on the goal umpire. And wait on it. We're waiting for an all clear.
Hey, sorry, Bender.
You sure? The goal? Are you sure it's goal?
I'm unsure.
You're unsure? I don't know.
Oh, dear. I'm unsure, says the goal umpire. It will be a minor score and a big victory for the Dogs. And Inkster cannot believe it. Oh, dear. Can anything else go wrong?
It's interesting, the umpire seems to have changed his mind here. Let's have a look. He's made his way, he's making his way back to the centre of the goals, which tells me that he's going to give that a go.
What's the confusion? Why the confusion?
Well, the Central's players argue that they thought it was a point. Now,
Shouldn't make any difference.
no, I wouldn't think so either. And the umpire, Central umpire is asking, are you sure? And eventually the goal umpire thought, oh, maybe I'm not so sure.
But at this level, surely we can get it right. Colville just swings it back to Mackenzie. Maybe this might fire up the Eagles. Certainly fire up their coaching staff. Be tearing their hair out. Chris Gowans gets another possession and finds his brother James as McCabe tries to scoot off. 29 minutes gone. 46 points the difference. Getting close to half-time. We've had a lot of stoppages, though. Swatala on the outer side wing. One of his best years for the Dogs ever. Kicks it long, hoping for a mark. It falls short, and Grokey playing in front. Maybe Grokey going back. Might be a masterstroke from Fuller. Grokey's kick finds the skipper in Colville.
The only problem with that, you've got to kick goals, and he's part of your forward structure, and he's making his way forward now. But you look up now, and they're going to kick it straight to Ruckman and Scholar and Brad Curry.
Swarm of Dogs. I don't know whether you can get a swarm of dogs, a pack of dogs. Mark taken by Cooper. Cooper spotted Grokey, who's run into space, but the kick is high. Grokey stretched, can't take it. Here's Wilson, goes to ground. No free kick on Skipworth, taken by Mussolino. To Curry, who was hot, taken by Sivanala. Off a step, looking for McCabe. It falls to Inkster. Inkster, tackled, just slips the tackle to Colville.
Colville's run down in the back. McCabe was doing the chasing. It'll come back. McCabe thinks he's got the free kick for holding the ball. Well, he carried him forward slightly. Another blood rule coming. And it'll be Gavin Colville coming off the ground. You detect the captain. Less than impressed at the moment.
Mate, if you land flat in the middle of his back,
It'll be Powell to take the free kick.
Get him on. Get him on straight away.
Another march from the other side of the ground to go to the interchange gates, and that all slows the game down.
Wait, yeah, I'll tell you.
Helps the Dogs. They've got a significant advantage anyway at 46 points.
And have pushed 14 players back into their back 50. There's no one forward of the centre or even forward of half forward for either side. So very hard for the Eagles now to pinpoint a kick.
Surely you just put this up and say, somebody take a mark. Well, you're definitely going to put it up now and hope for the best. And is that a concession too by Powell? He didn't even have a go at goal. And at half-time, Centrals are the masters. In the second semi-final, it's the Dogs 9-3-57. The Eagles 1-5-11.
Yes, and the end of the Centrals dynasty certainly has been eroded today. They've certainly been sensational. Just their tackling, their harassment, have been absolutely sensational. And as we get a look at the goal kickers here, singles on the side with David Westbrook at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. O'Sullivan with 4 and Cowan with 2. The rest singles. And we get a look at the stats, which are relatively even. Other than the top one, we see 9 goals to 1. Centre breaks even. Inside 50's just 2 that way. That's just their usage of the footy and their ability to put pressure on. And that is why they have been absolutely outstanding today.
Mark Soderstrom, Dogs, they just get better.
Well, they certainly do, and there has been a couple of incidents in this particular half that have caused a bit of controversy. Chris Gowan's the first one now. He's had his number taken. He is a 5-time premiership player, like his brother James, also Matty Slade, a crucial player. Now, there'll be a bit of interest to see whether on this particular incident, whether he gets any games here. That'll certainly go to the tribunal. We've also got a bit of an idea of exactly what he had to say during this time.
In the back, and then it was that incident there we just saw.
Go, Chaos. Focus on the ball this week, mate. You got at least, no, listen, you got at least next week to go. Don't do anything silly.
So you can see Chrissy Gowan's there. He'll certainly have a nervous wait for a couple of days. The other problem here that cropped up just before half-time was this shot on goal by Timmy Inkster. Took the mark, probably should have gone back and just had a shot, but he's had the snap. And, well, did it go over the post or didn't it go over the post? We're not quite sure. Let's have a listen to what the umpires had to say.
Hey, sorry, Ben.
You sure? Is it go? Are you sure it's go? You're unsure? I don't know.
So little Jonathan White there. It appeared that he wasn't exactly sure which way it went, so they've given it a point there, much to the disappointment of the Eagles boys, I should say. It's the Central boys that will be very happy as they take this big break into the halftime break.
Thanks, Sodas. Yes, no doubt who's dominating this match. Look at that, 46 points the margin at the long break. And here's Michael Maney to start the second half.
It will take the biggest comeback of the year for the Eagles to get back and win this game. Lindsay gets the first tap out of the centre. First couple of goals crucial for the Eagles. Elijah Ware to the run of Slade. Dogs into attack again. High kick. Daniel Shell. He's only had a couple of possessions, Daniel Shell. But he's going back at the 32nd mark of the third term. Here it is. Just working off the young man, his opponent, Zach Hire. And Daniel Shell looking at his second goal. Oh, he's hooked it. He's hooked it way, way across goal. It was a lovely mark, though, Andrew.
It was. In front. Look, just worked his way to the front because the breeze was always going to let it drop short. Just a smart play by an experienced player.
Here's an experienced player, McKenzie, who's been shot into the midfield. Cooper got away. Pumped it long, but who did he kick it to? Just out into space. I've got to read the footy. Lomas with good Shepherd off the ball. Thomas, quick hands, got it to O'Sullivan for just his 5th possession, but he's got 4 goals. Cowan below his knees, can't take it. Pedler needs to stand up in the second turn. Let's hope he gets some game time. Fairclough got the kick away, looking for Grokey, but everywhere you look, it's red, white, and blue. They do smother up and close people down. There's Adam Grokey. running back to centre-half forward.
Michael, pretty impressive effort by Central District so far when you consider that the 2 games they played this year, round 14 and 4, it was the Eagles by 24 points and 23 points. And even in a trial game, it was the Eagles by 25 points against Central District.
Yeah, but when the whips are cracking and when there's something on the end of it, it just appears that Roy Laird is not going to lose a final. Once again, 7-zip, and there he is. Ron Fuller, his finals record, 8-8.
Got each other, guys. Play on.
Lindsay down to Wilson, who can't barge through, although he's trying. Got his kick away. Slade was there. Powell was desperate. Fiacci was caught. Ball up.
No, there was nothing in that one. Thanks, Robbie.
Really is amazing. They've lost 6 players from last year's grand final side and introduced 6 new players. And they've just developed this culture straight away, worked straight into the team structure. It must be a very disciplined, a very good leadership group down at the Doggies.
Talk about losing 6 players from last year's premiership. They included Marco Bello, the captain in Daniel Healy, and Heath Hopwood, who played in all 5 premierships. And in addition to that, they've lost Nathan Steinburner this season with a shoulder injury, their captain for this season. So, well, and the Eagles just quietly are losing it altogether. Thomas drops it in for Richie Cochran. Cochran heads long to half forward. Shattuck gets rid of Chris Gowans, albeit only briefly. Chris Gowans comes, dives on top of him. Umpire lets it go. Now in there is big Paul Lindsay. Chris Gowans looks up, says, "Oh, I should have got a free kick then too."
I think that's a discerning thing for Ron Fuller today is just a lack of discipline. They've given away 25-metre penalties. They haven't cared about the way they've kicked to their forward line. They've just popped it on their heads or it's chopped short or they've missed targets. And they just have lacked this real general care to help out a mate in their footy club.
They haven't used, to my mind, am I wrong, that Lindsay's dominance at times in the ruck, they just haven't been able to work stoppages properly away from. That was one of the few times they've been able to work it cleanly away.
Well, they did the hit-outs 26-19, so they really haven't got the benefit they probably should have out of that thing. And probably over many years, really, Paul Lindsay's probably been the dominant ruckman in the competition. They haven't used it to their best advantage.
Schooler got it down that time, and taken to ground was James Gowans, and he'll take the free kick. Straight away off to Thomas, belts it long and direct to shell one out with higher, and coming in and helping him out with a nice mark was Simmons. Simmons, though, has nothing much on offer. He's chipped it up short to Skipworth. Skipworth waiting, stop-start. This won't help them.
It's slow, isn't it? They need to move the ball quickly, take some risks, bring it back through the centre corridor, get some run from behind.
Powell can square it this side of the ground. Pedler, though, has nothing on offer down the wing, so he's going to either have to go back across the ground or wait. And in this time, he just waits. And now he goes down with a helicopter kick and finds the chest of Lindsay, who dropped it. Skipworth was thinking about a hand pass, instead slammed it onto the boot. Mussolino intercepted. The Dogs will come again.
Elijah Ware pushed it high. Cowan in the pack. Bumped away, front and square. Stewie Cochran working hard. Chris Gowans on the bottom of that pack. With Joey Pedler. They love each other. They're very close. They send each other Christmas cards, but Joey Pedler can have a laugh at least. Chris Gowans is not interested in laughing. He wanted a free kick. Lindsay. Just a congestion. This just suits Central Districts. The chart's been up since about the 10-minute mark of the second term.
Time for Lindsay just in this situation, just to belt the ball clear.
They've got to find some space, don't they? So look, belt the even third man up, try to belt it forward. Get your runners running forward. As I said, take some risks. Set it up with someone from behind. Third man come over the top. Drag space, goal side of you and belt it forward. I know it's not in their normal game plan, but what they're doing at the moment isn't working.
The normal game plan is, I'm sure, not to be shut down like this. Shattuck's had a bad week, had a bad day, and just can't do anything right. His kick out of bounds on the full. Free to Luke Coward.
That's a lazy kick. Daniel Shell called for it to come to his side of the ground so he could hold out Zach higher. Cowan's just kicked it to the wrong side of him, and it was just pure laziness. So just some bad tendencies creeping into this game from both sides.
Pedler to Skipworth. Hasn't reached any great height so far, and we've gone 7 minutes in the third term. Hayden Skipworth just kicks it high. Word's gone out to kick the ball high. Taken by Simmons. Got it away to Fairclough. Fairclough out toward Passador, who's virtually had nothing of the football. Quentin Graham's done an outstanding job on him. Here comes Stuart Cochran. Knocked forward by Mussolino. Richard Cochran just finds the line. 57 plays 11, 7.5 gone. There's Elijah Ware.
Top ball good for each side. Timmings has had 17 for the Eagles, 10 and 7. James Gowans has had 5 kicks and 10 handballs for the Dogs.
Lindsay and Schooler go at it again. Lindsay palms it down beautifully to Skipworth, who just sends it high towards the half-forward line and out on the full. Tells the story, really. So does that. Go Dogs and number 1. Chris Gowans is taking his time. There's Chris Gowans, and they can afford it. 03 Jack Odie medalist, is best on ground, runner-up in the best and fairest last season. Takes it down centre wing. Fairclough goes to ground. Clearly that was in the back. Saddle him up, says O'Sullivan. Fairclough squares it. Shattuck, nothing on offer on this side again. Dogs have shut down. Chips it instead. Over the top, a lot of trainers out there. McKenzie, somewhere amid those trainers, got the ball. Back to Hire, and Shattuck, and now a smother. And now the Dogs go at their next target. Oh, the hand pass was loose. Here's Shell trying to push off. Caught, gave it away, Treby. Oh, and Pedler says, thanks a lot. Daniel Shell's not well. He's very slow to get up, but I think he's okay. No, he's hobbling away from the contest on this side of the ground, Daniel Shell. It might be an idea to put him in mothballs for a while if you're Roy Laird. Here's Skipworth down to half-forward again, just loose out of the pack. And running onto it, Westbrook kicked the only goal for the Eagles. And now Westbrook kicks the minor score.
It's Daniel Shell. As the luxury of Roy Laird has, he's able to get Daniel Shell off there just for a break to get himself composed again. The Eagles need to make David Westbrook needs to finish that goal. The Eagles are going to at least make an indent in this massive lead by the Dogs.
45 points the difference. Richard Cochran, right half back. Good shot of that. Bit windy in Adelaide, bit cool. But the football's been hot, particularly from the Dogs. Mussolino finds Elijah Ware to Curry. By foot, they've been magnificent, the Dogs. Curry called the play on. Smother came from Cooper. Curry got it back again. They're good at that. Ware kicks inside the forward 50. Justin Westhoff hasn't seen much game time. Lays a good tackle. They go in hard. Joey Pedler, the man, on the bottom of that pack. The ball up. 28 times inside 50, the Dogs. 25, the Eagles, but it's a 45-point lead to the Dogs. Free kick for a high tackle, and this is bad news if you're a Centrals fan. Wilson don't quite know what he's done there, Mark.
Yes, Michael, it looks a little bit proppy there on the foot. And just on Daniel Shell too, we saw him come off. He looked like he's a little bit sore as well. Remember, he missed the last minor round game against West Adelaide with a groin injury. That's Daniel Shell. So wouldn't be surprised if Central are just playing it safe with him. And I think Wilson will just get looked at here. He's got a problem with a left knee.
Caldwell puts his head down, his met head on, and the ball wrapped up. Another stoppage situation. We've had one or two of those. Just the top of the left knee, is it? Being assessed there for Wilson.
Timmy, get back!
Richie Cochran. Down to half forward. Fairclough with the punch. Elijah Ware pumps it inside forward 50, although it sort of went across the 50 more than directly inside. Pedler stumbles. Westhoff off the ground. Wait for it. Free kick will come back to Joey Pedler. They breathe a sigh of relief. Pedler goes wide. Treby. Oh, nothing on, so he has to go short. Mackenzie, room in front of him. Chris Gowans is coming. Mackenzie down to half forward. Westbrook without the leap. Just didn't have enough in the legs. Mussolino judged it best. This side of the ground, a couple waiting. Goes short to Schooler, almost Sikalella. Overran him though, didn't take the body. Schooler goes off, down to half forward. Pedler got rid of his man nicely in Cowan, and he's being held on to, but it's still Pedler away to Colville. Goes for Grokey. Oh, and again, the Dogs have all the answers. Cochrane wide. James Gowans, Ware going along for Westhoff. In the middle of the tackle, he almost pulled in a one-hander, and now he's caught with the ball under him in front of a scoreboard. That's pretty fashionable if you're a Central District fan. 9-3-57 to 1-6-12. Just the one goal from the Eagles, and this is haunting memories of a couple of years ago in a grand final.
And it is, and it's David Westbrook's goal at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter.
First goal of the game.
Yes, absolutely.
Lee Westhoff along with his brother in there. Colville spins and will be caught with the ball. He looks amazed at the umpire, but he had a couple of opportunities there, Gavin Colville, to release. He was desperate to get through. There's one. Just a wonderful tackle. He's still arguing. James Gowans with the shot. Point blank range. It's out to 51 points. The game needed the Eagles to kick the first 3 or 4. I'll tell you what, they can really rotate some players off the bench now, Andrew.
They certainly can, and that's important. As you said, they've got a couple of injuries. I think that there's that holding the ball. Look, I'm not a big advocate of if you've got your arm pinned, how you're actually supposed to dispose of it. I tend to agree with Gavin Colville a little bit there that how am I supposed to get rid of that? They're consistent, that's okay, that's holding the ball. There's a bit of dust off there. Joe Pedler doesn't mind mixing. There's a bit of history there. See a little punch there to the stomach by Joe Pedler and James Gowans.
Back in the middle.
Still me.
Down to half forward, off the ground by Chris Gowans. Fairclough relieves, albeit briefly, I think. No, the bounce favoured the Eagles. Now they have numbers. And they leave it to the big ruckman in Lindsay to kick it forward, and he doesn't do a very good job. Away they come again, the Dogs. Thomas. Oh, he just went too fast for himself. Now Lindsay on Mackenzie, took him to ground. Play on. Cochrane dived on the ball, and Sikalella dived on him. And umpire Tim Pfeiffer said, well, that's illegal. So Cochrane, Stuart Cochrane, high to half forward. Here comes Cowan. Oh, he should have taken that. Pedler breaks away, breaks one tackle, just handballs forward. James Gowans tries to pull down Colville, who threw it out on the umpire's blind side. It's play on. Lomas is forward of the play. Lomas approaches 50. Is this another goal? No, it's just another behind. Still, only one goal in the match for the Eagles. And they even got away with something there. They haven't got away with much this afternoon.
On the blind side. Importantly for Ron Fuller, he'll try to find out some players today who are going to buck the trend, who are going to go against this onside, who are not going to go back in their shell. They're going to really grit their teeth and try to take Central Districts on.
We've had a whip around in the commentary box, and who's going to win the raffle for the Eagles' next goal? 50-metre penalty or 25-metre penalty will go against O'Sullivan. The man with the tape around the head is Mark Mackenzie. That blood nose in the first term. He kicks in short and finds Westbrook. Westbrook goes long, hoping for a mark. Passador's there. So too Jacobs. Over the back. Passador working hard. The handball looking for Skipworth. He's caught. Mackenzie does the hard tackling. And a ball up, 16.5 gone. 50 points the difference in the second semi.
And the problem with that Mark Passador handball is how slow it was. It actually gave plenty of air, it gave plenty of time. Once Hayden Skipworth took control of the footy, Central Districts had plenty of time to wrap him up.
Cooper fights on, dives on the footy, can't get it out. A relentless performance by Central District.
There's only been 8 scoring shots in this game since quarter time. 5 goals to Centrals and 3 behinds to the Eagles.
They just know how to shut teams down. They know how to get on the break as well. Sikalella, handball to McKenzie. Lomas caught, threw it on the boot, into the pocket. Grokey, Sibanala. Grokey lost the run of the footy. Back on it again. Just tried to backhand it back in. Ware comes in. Tries to get it to Sibanala. Ball trickles over the boundary line. 17.5 gone. Oh, boy. Ricky McGowan on the other side of that lot, to the left, writing some notes down, but Luke Norman working the board, but it's like shifting the chairs in the Titanic at the moment.
Shifting chairs on a Titanic. I think it's already at the bottom of the ocean for the Eagles at the moment. Here's Chris Gowans inside to Graham. Graham, oh, he wouldn't have been happy with that kick. And O'Sullivan still manages to pull it in. No, he doesn't before the line. It's over the line.
Michael, just having a look here at Mark Passador, hasn't added to the 11 goals he's kicked against Central in his first 2 games this season. He's sitting on the bench now. Also coming to the bench, Jimmy Gowans.
Here's the Dogs working hard again. McCabe released the ball. Cooper with his head down. He knows what it takes. Matthew Cooper played in the 2002 Premiership for Sturt, the only time that the Dogs have lost a grand final in that run of 6 in a row. They're heading for their 7th grand final in a row. And there'll be a bit more torture to go for the Eagles. Here's Pedler off half back down to Westbrook. Nice mark. The Eagles are staring down the line of the lowest scores this season. 5-9-39 by Westies and Sturt, who finished, of course, 8th and 9th in the competition. In round 21, Port beating Sturt 21-15 to 5-9-39, and in round 10, North 23-20 to Westies 5-9-39. And of course, the Eagles have a huge margin to make up on that at the moment. They look like they might really struggle.
They look like Monty's at the moment, don't they? It's really hard to see where the next goal is going to come from. They're just battling forward, and there's no method or structure to their forward line. Just unable to hit targets.
Dogs clear it to the centre wing. Slade hits the ball hard. He hits Sikalella, who, to his credit, bounced up, and now he's hunting. But he can't get O'Sullivan, who just belts it down to half forward. Justin Westhoff just got rid of his man, just can't keep it in the end, socketed into the fence line. 50 the margin. 5 seconds till time on in the 3rd term. It's all the Dogs.
Staggering thing is the Eagles have had 2 more possessions than Centrals for the game.
It's just that efficiency under pressure. Centrals have been able to execute well under pressure. The Eagles, unfortunately, under pressure, and even when they haven't had pressure on them, have missed targets, have taken wrong decisions. And the only way you can get better at that is actually in games. At training, you can't actually typify what actually happens in the game. You can't try to mimic what the Centrals are doing to them today. So they really need to just, as they all can do is tough it out, and let's hope they're just a bit better for the run.
Here's a go for Treby, who measures it to Inkster. Will he play on? Will he run around? I think he might go back and have a shot.
Timmy, got it right there, thanks.
Tim Inkster.
Bruno, just keep going on that line.
17 possessions.
All in the first half.
Got your line here.
Looking at a shot from around 30 metres out.
Thanks, Chris. Well done.
For the first goal for the Eagles since the 4-minute mark of the first term. And they get goal number 2, and Ian Modridge takes the money.
It's ironical, isn't it? Ironical cheers go up from the Eagles, I think even Central supporters. But they've worked hard in this quarter, the Eagles, without no much reward, and Treby was able to just, for one of the few times, they had space in their forward line, and he controlled a kick forward, didn't just blast away. And Timmy Inkster, showing all his class, goes back, kicks a goal. So they breathe some life back into this contest, of sorts, anyway.
Inkster with 29 goals for the season. Margin back to 44 points. Haven't said that often this afternoon. And here's Sikalala out of the middle. Partial hand on that. Lomas. Oh, when Lomas was hit late, there'll be a free kick in front of goals. 25 metres out. And Tim Inkster may kick a couple in a minute. Will it be Inkster? It will be Inkster who takes the free kick.
Stay there, Tim. No, stay there, Tim. No.
This is more of what we expected from the Eagles. You can see there's play on, there's blocks, there's Quinton Graham in late. Oh, it's fairly soft at the end of the day. Very soft, I think.
That was on the big screen, in case you're wondering. That was the crowd in the background going, oh. Yes, don't know that there was a lot in that. But Timmy Inkster has a chance to kick his second goal in a minute, and he does it. He gives a little fist pump. Maybe there's a heartbeat. Maybe there's a pulse.
Yes, I think we're charging just 300 just to get it going. But look, they just breathe some life back into this contest. And look, as I said, Ron Fuller finding a little bit about his plays there. Who wants to be involved for the rest of this campaign? And all is not lost. You lose today, you can get back. You play North Adelaide next week. You get back on track. Get your team firing again. If some of the players don't want to be part of that and they get found out today, though, it's all too hard for it. You rotate some players around and you find out the players that want to be involved.
Amazing what happens when you get some centre breaks, but O'Sullivan got that for the Dogs. McKenzie got it to Peter Fiacci. Fiacci out wide, looking for Lomas, who was dispensed with a moment ago, hence the 25-metre penalty, or the kick downfield. And boundary throwing, just sensed that the Eagles have that little bit of run going. Ron Fuller.
There was a bit of run and a bit of cleanness out of half-back, one of the very few times we've seen it today.
38 points the margin in favour of Central District, who have won the last 13 of 14 finals they've played in. Simmons boots it high. Oh, wonderful grab by Shattuck. Couldn't take it. The handball came out from Ware to Sivanala. And a free kick will go to Thomas off the footy. Or will it go to Fairclough? Line ball decision.
He's called it too high. Left arm, which is out of view. I think he's over the shoulder.
Right there, Daniel.
Skewered from everyone. Skipworth still hasn't had a marked influence on this game. Standing underneath it is McKenzie. Good bit of work off the ball. And somebody's down. Is it Cooper's down off the footy? He's been crunched. Short kick in, and Inkster. Could he be the man? He's booted a couple of goals. It'll take his best work from here. I don't know where he's going to have to shoot this one and aim at, but there's Cooper, who's a bit hobbly.
It's always a match-up you liked if you're a Ron Fuller. You've got a really class forward against Chris Mussolino playing his 11th game.
Inkster gives it everything and thumped through by Scorer like the good ruckman he is.
Yes, and exactly what Paul Lindsay should have done very early in the game when he should have pushed back in defence. You see Cooper coming off. Looks a bit worse for wear.
It's interesting. There was nobody near him and he went down, and now he has an ankle problem. So let's have a look behind play. Bottom of frame there.
Who's that cock print? No?
Spatala. I'll get another look at that in a little while. Just to, again, just adjust your eyes to that bottom left of screen as the Eagles put some pressure on. Sikalala keeps it in, keeps the pressure on, and they rush through the minor score for Mussolino. Let's have another look. As we said, bottom left of screen.
I think you're being kind. I think it's Luke McCabe.
Yeah, it's McCabe.
Brigalow. Standing start. Kicks it high. Inkster needed the punch. Graham will be paid the mark. Man in front. Inkster had a fair bit of it, but you always pay the man in front. Good decision. Graham goes to Curry at half back. 26 minutes gone. 36 points the difference, Mussolino. Been outstanding in this final series. Royal Ed able to find some talent. Plenty of depth. Good kick. Shell just working off higher. He's got to let him go. He's pushed him. Dear, oh dear. He's kept at it, though, the young man. Shell called the play on. Mackenzie is there. Pedlar's there. Simmons over the top. Pedlar just trying to roll it to the pocket. Westhoff and Mackenzie got him. 63 plays 27 in the second semi. It's looking like the Bulldogs will go into the grand final.
Ball down, Mackenzie flips it back. Fiachi taking the ground. That'll be a free kick. It might be play on advantage. It is. Pedlar goes short for Skipworth. You look at this scoreline. 6 goals the difference late in the third term.
17th kick for Skipworth, had 2 handballs as well.
You just wonder what's possible with just a couple of quick ones. You never know. As we said, they are definitely on life support, the Eagles.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mark.
But they haven't kicked an enormous score, Central, so they haven't really, there is a big margin, but they haven't kicked right away.
No, they certainly have. Look, interesting that the scoring shots have only won the difference. But it's just the way that Dogs have gone about it that's been so much more exemplary than what the Eagles have been.
Chris Gowans took a dive. Umpire called it that way. Treby took a duck. The umpire called it that way. So the police prosecutor, Tim Pfeiffer, comes in, throws the ball in the air. Shell comes over the back. Treby takes possession. Chris Gowans out of the pack. Below his knees, Colville struggles. Taken to ground, play on, calls the umpire. Pedlar bursts through, 1, 2, 3. Comes wide for Skipworth. Jacobs is on over the top. He'll give it to big Sam Jacobs, who wasn't sure it was meant for him. Nor was Rugolo coming through Swatara. And now Powell taking the ground. No, Jacobs got it out of there. Rugolo dancing around, gave it to Mackenzie, ball smothered. They work so hard, the Dogs. They're working hard against Simmons to ground. Might be called holding. Play on, called the umpire. Well, you wonder.
Really typified that thing. You see the Eagles finally break it clear. McCabe just gets a handle. They just work so hard when the opposition's got the ball, and that's what really represents. That's why they're so much better than the other team in the competition.
Chris Gowans tries to push his way through. Ball in dispute. Bodies going in hard. Fairclough might have infringed. No. Get another ball up. Dogs have upped the intensity again. They felt like there was a challenge.
Oh, Ron Fuller, look, not all lost. They've won the quarter, or so far they're 2 goals to 1 in front of the quarter, so they've extended the bleeding, so to speak. But at the moment, it's still just an oozing, seeping, gaping hole. So, yeah, I've just whacked the bandage over the top, I suppose.
You're trying to out-trump each other, I think, with these medical terms.
3/4 time. Dogs, you would think, have it under control. 10-3-63 plays the Eagles. 3-9-27, the winner to go through to the grand final.
Yeah, you would expect the Dogs to go on and win this from now. That just the lead's too much, and they'll just pack this game down and keep it in tight and tough, not enable the Eagles to break free. And for the Eagles' point of view, look, it's all about winning this last quarter. If they can get a couple of early goals to breathe some life back in this contest, so let Centrals know that, look, we're going to come at you if it comes to grand final time, and we're there.
3/4 time in the second semi-final, and the scoreline looks like this, with Central District leading by 36 points. Well, 1/4 to go. Here's Michael Maney with the opening bounce.
The lights are on at the Adelaide Oval. Will the Eagles be switched on for the final term? They trail by 36 points. Who will go into the grand final in a couple of weeks' time? Well, the umpire is blowing the whistle profusely, and a free kick will go to the Eagles. And it's coming back to Paul Lindsay, who wants to give it to Skipworth, decides to give it to Mackenzie. Mackenzie kicks long, inside forward 50. First goal will be important. Hire's gone forward for the Eagles, and a free kick has been given away, and Wilson's still struggling with that knee, and the free kick will go to Richie Cochran. Pedlar's gone back on Shell. Grokey's gone to centre-half back as well. Richard Cochran goes in short, thumped away by Rugolo, who's been quiet. Here's Zach Hire. He kicks. We're looking back first Jacobs, but he's given away a free kick. A nudge on Sibanala. Nothing going right for the Eagles, but the early signs are there. They're looking to push forward. Sibanala finds Curry at half back. He's got Graham in a bit of space further down. decides to just hang on and wait till Schooler gets back to provide a target down the line on the wing. That's what he's got in front of him. Brad Curry, premiership player last year for the Dogs. Up goes Simmons, unopposed. How can that happen? Something going right for the Eagles. Simmons right in front of the interchange. Gates finds Skipworth with that punishing right boot. He threads it inside. McKenzie, oh, just had to hang on to it. Quick hands, got it away to Lomas. Lomas gave it to Inkster. Good tackle, Cochrane. Hacking it out of there is Slade. He'll want the line on the outer side. It wobbles and finds the target. Boundary throw in. Let's go down the mark on the boundary.
Well, just a three-quarter time, the huddle's there. The message from Ronnie Fuller was that we just play on at all costs. He said it mightn't be our day, but there's still a lot of time left in this season, so perhaps looking to next week already. Now, Sam Jacobs is going to be playing out of the square with Lindsay in the ruck. They'll change back and forward there. While Ronnie Fuller, his two messages were ball security and composure. He wants the boys just to hold on to the ball. Don't give it up too easy. Don't play around with it. Be composed. Suck up some time if you need be, but just control the pace of the game like you've been doing all game so far.
Well, Andrew, do you take that message away and you say, well, maybe the Dogs don't have much left in the tank? Or do you just say, well, that's just hoping for too much?
That's a big buzzword, is ball security out at Elizabeth. And what they mean by that is just control the footy. Just hang on to it, use it, you work it around, just make some easy decisions. Just keep control of the footy.
Well, somehow through the carnage of bodies then, they maintain ball security enough to get it over the line as the, mummified, Hannibal lectured, if that's a verb, Hannibal lectured Mark McKenzie walks back into play. Ball down, Skipworth. Oh, he's tackled from behind by McCabe. We'll get another ball up. Already a lot of stoppages in this quarter.
I like the move of Sam Jacobs forward. I think it just gives you a big target and to get out of jail free. If you're unsure and you can't pinpoint a pass, you can at least kick it to the top of the square and get a contest.
Sikalala decides to square it for Lomas. Couldn't pull it in. Inkster pulls it in. Now he's trying to get free of the Dogs and he can't. And Lomas not very happy with that decision, nor is Sikalala. Interesting, O'Sullivan the first quarter kicking a ball from that pocket and deciding I'll go for goal, and he kicked a goal. And in Sikalala's case, he tried to square it up and didn't succeed. Curry, two-time premiership player. Now they work it clear. Graham, oh, intercepted well by Fairclough. Held on to, gets back quickly. Looks long. Rugalo comes. In the middle of the pack was Jacobs. Comes down to Cochrane, high and wide to the far side of the ground. So they switch it yet again, the Dogs. The run, though, stops there with McCabe. Maybe they are a bit tired.
Neil Adrian Wilson coming to the bench. He's tried to push through that knee problem. That's a left knee, but looks like he's succumbed to it again. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some ice and a bit of a breakdown.
Well, they'll have 2 weeks to try and overcome it, you would think. Stuart Cochrane goes wide to the wing. Treby and Ware. It falls for Ware. Off the pack. Tries to show his pace. Colville pulls him down. Just slams the ball forward as best he can. McKenzie trapped by Justin Westhoff. And Chris Gowans will get another ball up.
Just to show you how much stats don't mean sometimes. In the first three quarters, top ball getters on the ground, all Eagles, with Skipworth and Inkster having 20 and Sikalala 18. James Gowans top for Centrals with 17.
Yeah, it's been an all-over team performance by the Bulldogs, and a lot of those kicks that the aforementioned players for the Eagles have got haven't really hurt too much.
No, they certainly spread the load a lot more. I think the bottom 6 or 8 players of Centrals have contributed far more than the bottom 6 or 8 players of the Eagles.
Powell put his body on the line to Sikalala for another possession to him. Just wriggles away and finds McKenzie at half-back. Eagles have looked okay in the first part of this quarter, but they cough it up here. Taken by James Gowans. He kicks it high, hoping for a mark. Body's on the line. In goes Slade. Hooks it across the body. Which way will it bounce? It is a B-grade bounce through for a behind. Quiet day for Matthew Slade. His standards normally up around 26. He's only sitting at 12 possessions. Well down.
Gavin Colville done a pretty good job as we see another kick-out infringement. This time it's Sam Fairclough, who looks a bit bemused by that. Certainly gone over the line there. We'll get a look at that on replay. Yep. Yes, quite clearly. Foot has got to be behind the line before you kick. Centrals to try to work this back into space outside.
Shell went back to Gowans. Ball trapped in there. Higher. Couldn't get it out. Powell could. Jacobs was clever. So was Grokey. They shifted wide to McKenzie. He dropped it in looking for Treby. Good mark by Treby among two. Springs it wide looking for Lomas. He's got pace and he's got plenty of room to move. He's being chased by Chris Gowans, who won't shut him down. Lomas with the kick, not the greatest. In fact, it was awful. Simmons forcing his way through. Fatala was clever. Immediately, he's set upon. And we'll wait for the decision of the umpire. It is. Let's have another ball up. North Adelaide needed the double chance in the finals to get through to the preliminary final. The Eagles may well need their double chance assured by finishing in top place this season. Here's Rugolo forward of the play. Was he held? Umpire called play on. Switala's hand pass was smothered. Now Lindsay trying just to take Dogs with him. Umpire calls for the ball. Inside, forward 50 for the Eagles. They have turned in some ways this match around as Stuart Cochrane goes to ground off the ball. Be interesting to see how that happened. Wait on the umpire. Another free kick. It'll go to Skipworth.
25, go.
And plus 25 for maybe a bit of abuse and treatment there for Cochrane, who goes back, picks himself up. And we'll just run over and say to Sikalella, I know it was you. I think that's who he's pointing at.
I think very much I knew it was him.
Vincenzo Rugolo just heading to the bench here. David Westbrook back on the ground.
Stuart Cochrane says, I've got your number. Hayden Skipworth is number 1, and we'll look at a goal here, which will be just the 4th of the afternoon for the Eagles. 8 minutes, final quarter. 64 plays 27. 64 plays 33.
Yeah, he's worked hard today. Has Hayden Skipworth with 20 kicks and 2 handballs. Finishes off his first goal for the day. But the Eagles just persisted here, and as one fella said at three-quarter time, that they've just got to persist. And showing all his class there. Look, see the breeze was working that from left to right, so it wasn't an easy kick for goal. He finishes off nicely.
The forgotten man of the Adelaide Crows, Hayden Skipworth, has been in stellar form early in the season and pretty unlucky in the end. Cop an injury and then couldn't force his way back in. 31 points the difference. Lindsay out of the centre. Sikalella taken the ground illegally by Chris Gowans. What I'm trying to say is illegally.
Get out, Westy!
Sikalella. Another goal here might make life a bit interesting. They're running out of time though. You see the Dogs are getting tired. Lindsay kicks long. Schooler just got back. Skipworth. Which way will it bounce? Will it bounce through and hit the post? It needed to go through. 5 goals the difference in favour of the rampaging Dogs.
10-4 plays 4-10. Gowans, poor kick. Poor delivery again. Gives the Eagles another chance. They want to raffle it. In the end, they're lucky to get away with it. Only briefly, though. In comes O'Sullivan, takes his man to the ground in Powell and gives away a free kick. Now McCabe will have to give it up or he'll lose 25. He gives it to Powell eventually. They are running, the Eagles. Not exactly firing on all cylinders at the moment, but they are running. And that will give them at least some hope. Ball into half forward. Well done, Shattuck. He'll be allowed the advantage. Plays on, squares up the ball. Schooler couldn't take it. Wait on it. There's a kick behind play. It's on for young and old between Inkster and Curry. And it'll be a free kick down the ground to the Eagles.
There's a bit happening in there. I mean, there's a bit of niggle out there at the moment. We're going to look at this on replay.
After the ball had already gone.
So the ball's gone.
I don't know if that quite went the right way. If I saw that right arm there of Tim Inkster.
Absolutely not.
And the umpire paying the fact that Curry threw Inkster to the ground. So he missed the 2 swipes and free kick now to Hire. Oh, and he kicks it. There's life. There's a pulse. Only just, but there is. 24 the margin.
And something Zach will remember, first goal in league footy. But just the Eagles are just trying to... Here's this Togish, here's Tim Inkster and Brad Curry going at it. With the tail end of it there, as after they work it forward and Zach Hare kicks a goal. It's manageable, 24 points. I expect the Doggies to push numbers around the footy and just try to play the buzzword tempo footy and just keep control of it.
Can the Eagles do the impossible? Out of the centre, Lindsay got a handball. Sikalella ran into Schooler, and that put paid to that. Sikalella wants a free kick. They've kicked the last 3 goals, or the last 4 goals at least. Here's Elijah Ware, just getting around Colville. Put himself under pressure with a kick, but it's okay to Cowan. Now, Luke Cowan is a cool, calm customer. Played a lot of footy, played in premierships. He's just settling it down. He's got a mammoth kick on him. And I think he'll get the distance here. The accuracy will be the problem. He's booted 2. For number 3. Doesn't get a good piece of it. Lindsay could have knocked it through. Free kick, too high on Simmons. They've got numbers on this side of the ground. Mackenzie needs a kind bounce. Needs a shepherd from Colville. Quickly got the kick away. It's all right. And finds Grokey. Grokey's got men running for him on the outer side. Decides to go down the line to Skipworth, and the kick was appalling.
Skipworth had 20 metres, really, and the ball didn't have enough penetration to get to him. Graham now slowing it down for Centrals. Kicks it inside 50. Big punch comes. At the back was Simmons. Simmons brings it out again. Pokes the pass to Skipworth. Shows the ball and then decides to go to the middle. They've got a bit of space. Here's Shattuck in the centre. Drops it down to half forward. Higher takes it. Outside he goes. Sikalella inside 50. Inkster on the lead. Did he grab it? Well, he did, and then he lost it. Now the Dogs come in. That might be holding the ball. No, says the umpire. I don't know that there was much in James Gowan's minds except falling down and getting the bounce.
But no doubt that's a legitimate tactic and something Centrals will employ in this last quarter. They'll just crash in. They'll try to hold the ball in, tap it closely to the packs. There it is again. They'll just try to get their arms free, dive on top.
Oh, it's come free. Lomas did brilliantly. Got it out towards Shattuck. Fed it back. Here's Pedofiacci. Squares it up. They need a mark from Sikalella. It comes to Curry. Just cleared it outside 50. It was high, said the umpire. The ball will come back to Curry. 25 from defensive goal. Change down there, Sodas.
Stewie Cochrane just coming off for a spell, and Matty Slater spent the last few minutes on the ground just having his hamstrings rubbed. Looked a little bit sore when he came off the ground, but he looks to have been moving quite well now, so he's headed back on.
Curry taking his time. One-on-one, the Eagles have gone, trying to shut down this defence of the Dogs. For Cowan, they go. Ball to ground. Powell released it. Still it's play on, and we'll get another ball up. We're going to see a lot of these. We're probably going to see a long quarter. We've just about gone 15 in the last quarter. 4 goals the margin.
Here's Luke Powell on his haunches. Precious time ticking away. The Dogs will know what to do. Trevi got one high. No free kick. Fed it out. Sikalella back to Colville. They're going backwards at the moment. Such is the pressure from the Dogs. They're still hunting in packs. Sikalella takes it to the line. Boundary throw-in. Happy Dog supporters have been howling all day. Roy Laird on the phone. What a coach he is proving to be. Lindsay beautifully down to Fairclough. Skipworth to Sikalella. Amazing if they could pinch it. I don't think they'll have time. Off the ground by Westhoff. Hard ball to be won here with Trebi. Trebi kept his feet, wanted to get it away, got it to Colville. Colville will pump it long, looking for Inkster. Will he be the X factor? He betted there are only 2 goals in the 3rd quarter, Tim Inkster. And you think back about that miss in the 2nd term where he played on and Kick to behind with all that confusion. Ron Fuller not convinced. Pensive. Inkster for goal number 3. Will it come round? He's missed.
It's good play by Lee Treby there. Just stood up under pressure, didn't fall, then got his arms free. Able to release Gavin Cobb, who hits Tim Inkster on the lead. A good look at his reaction. He certainly hasn't let his side down today.
Well, they know there's not much margin for error. In fact, there's no margin for error. It's beyond 16 minutes in this term. 23 the margin. Here's Curry called to play on. Dogs just slowing it down. Schooler in the middle of the pack. Cowan burst through. Chris Gowans gave it off. Now it's down to half forward. At the back was Shell. Couldn't get possession. Finally he does. Taken to the line and taken over. Through a little bit of push and shove, and still plenty of heat in this match. That's the view from the chapel stands on the eastern side of the Adelaide Oval. Another stoppage, another ball up.
It's amazing the Eagles have actually had 42 more possessions than the Dogs at present. It's just an amazing statistic to say that they've controlled the footy probably in the second half and just haven't been able to hurt them on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 138 to 84 since half-time, and they've scored 4 goals, 6 to 1-1.
Another stoppage, another 4 seconds of play, followed by a stoppage. Lights are on, as we said, at the Adelaide Oval. Plenty of sunlight left, though, as you can see. Turned out to be a pretty good afternoon. A bit of rain around this morning in Adelaide and overnight. A little bit of drizzle in the under-19s match earlier in the afternoon. Or early this morning, actually. Doggies fans still got a smile. Why not? They're in prime position for another premiership assault. Fiachi out of the pack and out on the full. They force an error, the Dogs.
That's right, lady. Once you come in, you play on.
Have to be an Eagle supporter, that lady.
I think so,
Riding every kick. Slade told to play on. Does so. Thumps it long. Oh, courageous effort by Sikalala. McCabe somehow to Chris Gowans. He'll want to square it up. Daniel Shell can't hold on. Life yet for the Eagles. Shell across the body. Miracle goal. Dogs will be in the grand final. Shell boots goal number 2, and the troops go well and truly off.
Yeah, it's a great discipline play by the Doggies. They brought it back into the middle. There's Shell, just dropped the mark what he probably should have taken, just screws it around the corner. You can see he's happy with that. That just takes all the pressure off. There's that centering kick. As I said, probably should have taken the mark, but such as his goal sense, turns it around the corner, just deflates the Eagles. As you said, Doggies march into the grand final.
I'd like a count. It seemed like there were about 40 stoppages down the outer side of the ground, and then finally they got the one that really counted. McKenzie forcing the ball forward. Chris Gowans, hand pass intercepted by Colville. Socket forward by James Gowans. O'Sullivan overran it. Here's Grokey working hard. Colville took it off him. Slipped out a hand pass. They just can't break away. That son's a big pig, wasn't it? I can't break away.
Not my era there, Neil, I don't think.
The 80s, I thought that'd be you.
I think Ron Fuller will be thinking, I can't get no satisfaction.
Want to go back further, yeah.
Look, there's some positives to take out. I mean, they have fought it out really well, and as I said, they're going to find out who wanted to play for their footy club in this second half, and a number of players have put their hands up. Just that, you know, I think he touched on pre-game, but going to have to play 4 quarters of tough quality footy. Got found out for about a quarter and a half, and it cost them the game.
Well, they don't give away premierships in the SANFL. That's the bottom line. You have to work hard. The Eagles have worked hard for 23 weeks to finish on top of the competition, but it hasn't been good enough this afternoon to secure them a grand final berth against these Dogs. O'Sullivan off the ground. Almost. That would have been too much, wouldn't it? Another soccer goal from the Dogs, and they've produced already a couple this afternoon.
It's amazing. They every time they leave space to their goal side, they have a third jumper. He knocks it forward. You have O'Sullivan or the Gowans twins running onto it, facing goal.
Sikalella finds Pedler. O'Sullivan, quiet day, 8 and 5, but he's booted 4 goals, 1. Mackenzie can't take the mark. Swatala on hands and knees. Back out to Mussolino. Ball drops. Well, who's he going to play here? James Gowans. Sikalella's going off. He has completely lost the plot there, Justin Sikalella. A real line baller, that one.
Let's have a look on replay there.
Oh, no, that's James Gowans' mark.
So the distance is going to stretch him, so he's going to have to pass off.
And he does so, as Sikalella keeps arguing, and Luke McCabe's got the cramp. Those 29, 30-year-old legs have just about seen enough for today. Ron Fuller, he's conceded.
Just starting to look at some of these players, and they look fatigued, don't they, the Dogs? So this week off will just make them cherry ripe for the grand final. And that's how important today's game was. Next week, the Dogs had to play again against North. The Eagles go into the grand final. Fresh, keen, eager. We've broken the mentality. Such a word, I suppose. But mentally, they're switched on, ready to go for next week.
Chris Gowans, who just hovered around Luke McCabe to say, let me have a shot. And he delivers. He's got his first. It's out to 6 goals. Dogs fans celebrate. Centrals. The chant goes up. And Gowans will come to the line along with Sikalella.
Let's have a look at this mark again. Yeah, it's a fair mark, I think, to James Gowans. He's got his body in front. And then he just knew his limitations. He milked the clock for 20, 30 seconds and then passed off to the pocket. Just experienced play in finals footy.
Well, this could get ugly now. They have broken the game well and truly. They have a victory in their sights, and the umpire has paid that as holding the ball. Well, I don't know. I think that's inconsistent with some of the stuff we've seen today. Here's Swatala through the centre square, ran a long way, dropped it inside forward 50, shell from behind, brought the ball to the front. And now it'll be a free kick. Notice Slade, you just wonder about that. Getting up, hobbling behind player, Eagles player. I think he was met by Shell in the hip with the knee coming through. Ball down. And they work the ball to Simmons. That's the man who's limping. He puts his head down and he's grabbed. The umpire calls for the ball. Watch Simmons get up now. He won't get up very easily. He is struggling.
Roddy Royce, get it out, get it out, get it out.
You can hear Tim Fiver saying, get it out. The Dogs have no intention of getting it out. But if Archie had no ability to get it out.
It's amazing that holding the ball rule that they were so hot on at the start of the year is really just a back to them. That sort of, it's gone when they came back 2 years where the word was, look, yeah, hold it in, because you're not going to get pinged by the umpire. And now they've really gone back to that rule, probably, as I said, 18 months ago. It's exactly the same.
Tim Fifer throws it in the air. Slade working against 2-3 Eagles, and eventually he's taken to ground. 24 minutes, nearly 25 minutes gone, and the final term, 77 plays 41, a 36-point margin in favour of the, yes, reigning premiers, the Dogs. They'll go there again to the grand final. That's called a throw by Shattuck, and it will be a free kick. And it will be James Gowans this time, who has an opportunity to kick a goal. Looking very much like English soccer supporters. The Dogs supporters out there.
The Doggy Army.
The Doggy Army. And you see, in fact, the British flag adorned with CDFC on it. Central District Football Club since 1964 in the SANFL League competition. And what a powerhouse they are now. Onwards they march towards their 7th grand final in a row, chasing 6 premierships.
It's an amazing record, and something that probably won't be surpassed for a long, long time, I would think. They're just a powerhouse in the competition. And everyone predicted they would fall away this year, having lost 6 premiership players, a year older. The hunger, they just maintain this hunger. It's great.
James Gowans has played in 5 premierships for the Dogs, and he clearly wants a 6th. They've got a big appetite, the Dogs, don't they?
As I said, it's an amazing they can maintain that hunger out there. As I said, you're playing 5 premierships. How do you keep pushing yourself to train hard? How do you keep working hard in a game? They just have this huge appetite to keep it going. And James Gowans is one of those players who just week in, week out, plays with passion, fire in his belly. He's been a sensational recruit for the Doggies.
I think Ty Kennelly said it about Sydney and the premiership. How do you go another year? He said it's like a drug. You've been there, you want it again, and clearly the Dogs have a taste, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been, as I said, there were some serious doubts over them during the year. They had times where they struggled. Now they're back on track, and they just know what final September football's about.
I'd like to know what dog food they feed him out there, because she's good stuff. Mackenzie, here comes Thomas. He's kicked 6 points for the year. Can he kick a goal? No, he can't. Into the pocket. The leader of this club, with Nathan Steinburner on the injured list, Paul Thomas, returning from Essendon. Hunger. He's got it, don't you worry. Mackenzie, the knockdown. Shattuck got a handball away that time. Fairclough. Clean pair of heels, just kicks it to a kennel of dogs. Westhoff off early with a blood lip. He's okay now. Mussolino, he's run down from behind, dropped the footy. Advantage rule. Fairclough to Rugolo, playing down time now. Brokey takes the mark in front of Richard Cochran. Dog supporters going off. The kick to Inkster is good. And Tim Inkster with a tumble turn. And at the 28-minute mark, looking for the 3rd goal of the quarter to the Eagles. But it's all too late. They trail by 42 points. Ron Fuller goes back to that well-oiled drawing board.
Exactly. Look, he wish he had two Inksters, because it's worked well in the second half. They're playing in 1 out of the square. Just missed his drive in the midfield.
Inkster's kick is home for a goal. He's booted 3. The Eagles flag goes up. And this is good work.
Good quick movement. Brokey just puts it out in space. You can see Curry realised he was beaten. And Inkster, just a quick lead. There's all that space that I'm talking about. Most of the day, especially the first half, Central's denied the Eagles that space. They were able to push back in numbers, slow movement of the footy, enabled them to do that. Finally, they find some space. Unfortunately, way too late for the Eagles.
28-minute mark in the final quarter's a bit too late, isn't it? Here's a Sullivan out of the middle. The ex-Werribee player brought in for the number 7 Guernsey this year, worn by Marco Bello with distinction. He played in all 5 Dogs premierships as well. And there's the Dogs fans very much enjoying their day out this afternoon.
The Dogs are in the 2nd semi for the 7th year in a row this year, which is a record, but astonishingly, they've won a lot of them.
It doesn't matter what stat you come up with, it just proves they are a very good outfit. Westhoff off to O'Sullivan, just didn't have the pace to get that yard clear to kick the ball properly. They force it on though, and Thomas, who may well captain a premiership, gives away a free kick this time.
He wants a goal. He knows he's kicked 6 points.
Well, if he really wanted one, he should get out of the square and just wait for the handball over the top. Here is Gavin Colville. He's struggled hard for his side this afternoon. Aaron Shattuck wide out. Former Brisbane premiership player. And Trevey couldn't keep the ball inside the field of play. Lee Trevey, as I said, from the Eastern Rangers in the Victorian Under-18 competition. Jacobs and Shell. They bang the ball forward to Shattuck. Shattuck then wide, he goes to Powell. He was once best on ground in a grand final rematch here on Anzac Day. Trouble is, the Doggies are winning the ones that count. Sibonala hasn't been required to do all that much this afternoon. Richie Cochran short. Paul Thomas goes for Westhoff. I think he was aiming for Justin Westhoff. It found Joey Pedler. Now Fiachi. Vic Jacobs, South Australian under-18 player this year. Down to half forward. And it gets away to Sibonala again, who very professionally goes to the boundary line before he considers what options he's got. Curry knocks it on. He's bowled over by Garoki. Ball close to the interchange area. And now it's over the interchange area line and out of bounds. We'll get a throw in. There can't be any more than a few seconds left in the match, Michael.
What a victory this is against all the odds. All those premiership players have left the club. What a wonderful club they are. Fiachi boots it forward for the Eagles. Inkster works his man out of it, and Richard Cochrane, and falls over the back. Swatala will want the line. Squeezes down looking for Richard Cochrane. Kept it in back to Curry, who's been grand in defence. I don't know that that was too much of a handball that fell out of his hand. Here's Brad Curry, and yeah, not much fist in that. Boundary throw in, 32 minutes gone. Jacobs in ruck. Hard ball to be won. It's inside 50 for the Eagles. Jacobs on hands and knees. What an amazing victory this will be. They're going for just 3 wins in a row. Lost a late game. Higher. O'Sullivan, 4 goals. What a game he's played. There it is. Central District into another grand final. Roy Laird congratulated by his support staff. Lee Westhoff was a star. So too Paul Thomas. Wonderful victory. They win by 6 goals. Central District 13-5-83. The Eagles 6-11-47 will have to play North Adelaide in a prelim final. Andrew Rogers.
Yes, once again the Doggies have strangled the life out of the Eagles. They just gave them no space early in the game, and really the first half was on it when the game was there to be won, and they were just far superior with their decision making, their pressure. They were just way too good in that first half. The Eagles, to their credit, battled out really hard in the second half, found some positives to come out of the game. So next week they go in to the preliminary final with some sort of momentum.
Mark Soderstrom with a very happy acting captain, Paul Thomas.
Well, Paul, you hadn't beat the Eagles all year. They've beaten you twice, even in a trial game. Not that that really counts, but just got it right at the right time.
Yeah, that's right. It's what's important is getting yourself in the top 3 to give yourself this chance. And you know, we scraped in the 3, but like I said, we've given ourselves a great chance.
Last year, of course, in the AFL with Essendon, played the 8 games there, but you get a chance now to play in another grand final with Centrals.
Yeah, obviously disappointing not to still be in that system, but to come back and play for the club you love and grew up with supporting, to play in another grand final is super, and I'm just disappointed. I missed out last year. That would have been number 3, would have been good.
Unfortunately for Nathan Steinburner, his year's over, but you get the chance to lead the club into a grand final, which must be a magnificent honour to do that.
Oh, a massive honour. Like, just captaining the club's a dream come true. So, yeah, but unfortunately for Steiny, it's not going to happen for him this year, but, you know, he'll be back next year bigger and better.
Paul, well done today. Some great work for the team. We'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
We will do. Thanks, David.
Paul Thomas be very happy with that. The Dogs just happy overall. Look at that. 23 the margin at quarter time. It stretched to 46 by half-time. 36 with a quarter to play, and 36 is the way it finished.
Yeah, it's certainly too good. The Eagles only won the 1 quarter. Dogs firmly deserved their victory. Set it up beautifully in the first half.
Yes, and they march on, don't they? And they've been fantastic in this match this afternoon. The Eagles are left to try their hand again in the preliminary final against North Adelaide, who earlier this afternoon, they used up their double chance with that victory over the Panthers from South Adelaide. 102 plays 77, and I'm sure that Andrew Jarman would have been most happy with that result. And earlier he spoke to Mark Soderstrom about a victory and where they go from here.
Andrew Jarman, congratulations. 1 win away from playing a grand final now. Just a super effort. You implored the boys at 3/4 time to pull it out, and they did.
Oh, that was sensational. Knowing that we lost... who'd I lose? Oh, Howard and Krieg. Sorry. But very proud of the players. They had to dig deep, and full credit to South Adelaide. They really made us work hard for that last quarter. But that's what it's about, putting your body on the line, and it was sensational.
You said before the game questions would be asked of the coaching staff if you didn't get up, or you got up nicely.
Well, I think I might get another contract next year. I know my brother's hovering for one, but look, this group got a lot out of today. Obviously, we copped some injuries, but end of the day, it is digging deep and you know, putting your body on the line. And here they come now. Give them a round of applause.
Well, Andrew Jarman would be very encouraged by that result, and I'm sure he encouraged his players this afternoon. After last week, of course, he walked away from them and said, well, get some respect when they fell to Central District. Well, this week, very encouraging to his team.
Do everything by the book. The guys that are injured, don't get on the grog, because you've got another 7 days to get ready for next week's contest. We'll be ready. We'll be ready. But it starts now. But I just want to say how proud I am.
They trailed by 13 points at three-quarter time, and they come home with a wet sail, didn't they?
They looked gone, didn't they? At three-quarter time, they had injuries. They had no one left on the bench. South Adelaide had all the momentum. South Adelaide had really finished off strongly for most of the season, and they looked as though they were going to run over the top of them. Just some key there. Better players. Laddams kicked 2 miracle goals from the pocket. Gill got involved. Hargraves stand up for the first time for the day. They were great.
Absolutely, and they move on to next week, and they'll go in encouraged by that performance this afternoon, and North Adelaide will take on the Eagles in the preliminary final. Note that time live on Sunday from 3 o'clock on ABC TV. Plenty to look forward to. Should be a great clash now with the Roosters up and in form again. We're going now down to the Central's room to hear how they celebrate yet another grand final appearance. Thanks for your company this afternoon. Enjoy this one, Doggy fans.